It would be useful if I unmute my mic, you know? Okay, Treasure Hunt Part 1. Yes. So last time I think I did this. I kind of want to finish this first, but I want to finish them all at the same time. I'll go here. Data known, August 1980X afternoon, Ryakan guest room, Toba City. They just arrived? Now then, I believe it's time we discuss our strategy. Sure, what do you want? What do you mean by strategy? Should look obvious. We must reflect on all we've learned if we want to move forward. Sure. It seems to me she knows her fair share of both useful and useless facts. It's time we get down to business, though. Okay? It is a sketch of a mermaid mummy, though, that I found in our family storage. Bringing it alone would have been out of the question. Oh, right. I still haven't told Circe why I'm searching for mermaids. Why am I searching for mermaids? Some of the notes I've taken, the information in them is not substantive and likely of no use. Did I just use keyboard and mouse? Ashtray. Porcelain ashtray that came with the room. Ashtrays like this are found just about anywhere, so one can smoke without any worries. That being said, I've noticed people outside still simply drop their cigarettes onto the ground. Well, I wasn't a smoker to begin with. Interesting. This is a nice place. Mosquito repellent. Let's focus on our assignment. Business card. Oh, this is the business card from the guy we met earlier. It is. We managed to glean some surprisingly good information from that exchange. And he is... Oh, right. Yeah, the kids, right? Utah? First things first, let's head back to the inn. From there, we can plan our next move. No, pardon me, but would the lovely lady and handsome gentleman be willing to spare me a moment? Why, yes, the gentleman does have some time. I suppose that makes the lady then. Me the lady then. Oh, it's you. You've been following us for quite some time. Huh? He has? For how long? It's the Isig Grand Shrine, I believe. Truly, maybe you could try to keep me apprised of things like this in the future, sirs. Haha, it appears I wasn't as stealthy as I thought. My apologies for the indiscretion. But you see, the two of you piqued my interest. Foreigners in Isabay searching for mermaids. God, you overheard everything. How embarrassing. Abby, hollering won't lessen the embarrassment. But how rude of me, I ought to introduce myself. I'm an event planner here in Isa City. My name is Kipe Ikoma. Kipe. I'm sure I've heard that name before. I'm sure I've heard that name before. Also, I should go through all my files near the climax, maybe, while I'm increasing my diving rank. When it gets to that, Ikoma. I've heard that before. Piki. Sodo Kiryu. Masaru Ide. Shirobu Wakamura. Yoshiatsu Yamashita. I swear I know that name. Okay, well, let him speak. Oh, fancy a business card and everything. What a charming fellow. Let's see. Sala planning, eh? It says here you're the CEO. I'm actually the only employee, so the title doesn't mean much. You see. I apologize for the rudeness, but I actually just ran out of business cards of my own. Did you ever have any? I heard you need to carry business cards in Japan if you want to avoid looking suspicious, but I still forgot to bring any. But the free-willing and forgetful man before you goes by the name Arnav Barnum, a fantasy author who's merely passing through. You believe me, or am I too suspicious? Without the business card for proof, the verdict is yours alone to make. So you're an author, Mr. Barnum. Please call me Avi. I am bothered that I can't remember where I heard Kippei Koma from. This is the first time I'm meeting him, but I know that name. This is Circe. She has studied more Japanese history than even the average Japanese citizen. It's a pleasure. If you'd like, I can list the top 100 of Issei's best features at any time. Aren't you a delight? I was right to take an interest in the two of you. Event Service CO, Kippei Ikoma. Should I just take this time to review all my files? Because I'm going to finish this game this week anyway, one way or the other. Okay, how about I do that? Mie Prefecture. Mie Prefecture is located in the eastern part of Ki Peninsula, in central Honshu, the Japanese mainland. It falls within both Chubu and Kikyo regions, measuring 170 kilometers from north to south and 80 kilometers from east to west. It has a narrow, elongated shape that and is known for its rich natural diversity and differs greatly between its northern and southern regions. The varied and abundant nature of Mie Prefecture has led it to be known as a land of great beauty. Since the ancient times, even back when it was known it was still known as the Ise province, it was also purported to be the land whither repair the waves from the eternal world, which led to the establishment of Ise's shrine, a place of enshrinement for the goddess Amaterasu. The eternal world is said to be the realm across the sea separate from the one in which we live. Often described as an eternal paradise, Ise was seen as the land where the waves from this world continually broke, connecting the material world and the world beyond. Famous spots and scenic vistas in Mie Prefecture is a shrine, Iseji route of the Kumano Kodo, a series of ancient pilgrimage routes, birthplace of Iga Ninja Clan, birthplace of the Isehei Clan, Suzuka International Racing Course, Toba Aquarium, Ise Shima National Park, and many more. Local specialties of Mie Prefecture: pearls, ise lobsters, abalone, turban shells, oysters, and other marine products, ise udon, matsusaka beef, and many more. Ise Shima. Although the term Ise Shima is sometimes used to refer to the part of Nansei, southern region of Mie Prefecture, the area covered by this term is not clearly defined, with it usually referring to the two major tourist destinations, Ise Shrine and Shima Peninsula and their surrounding areas. As the area referred to as Ise Shima also includes Toba City, it is also sometimes referred to as the Ise Toba Shima area to avoid confusion. Ise Bay, also known by the name the Sea of Ise. Ise Bay is an enclosed bay located in central Honshu, the Japanese mainland. Although its exact range varies in this game, it refers to the area of sea surrounded by land up to the line drawn from Cape Irago in Aichi Prefecture to Cape Dayo in Mie Prefecture. Ise City, the city located in central. Oh god, there's a lot. How many? I'm only number 4. I have to read 50 of these. Okay. A city located in central northern area of Shima Peninsula. This whole stream is just gonna be me reading the entire thing, and then I'm going to end stream. The northern part of the city is on a plain directly facing Isebe, while the southern part is on more mountainous land surrounded by hills. Having long flourished as a town leading up to the Torii Gate of Ise Shrine, it stands out as a particularly popular tourist destination even among the many attractions of Ise-Shima area. The city is sometimes referred to as Shinto, meaning the city of the gods. Although best known for Ise Shrine, many other temples and shrines can be found within the city. The land overlooking Isabel is blessed with an abundance of beautiful scenery, including Mount Asama, which was included on the list of 100 famous Japanese scenic spots during the Showa area. Futamigaura. This is where we found the mermaid, right? Or quote unquote mermaid. Tamigaura is the name of the stretch of coastline along Futami town. So named during the events of this story, it has since been merged with Ise City. In the Watari district of Mie Prefecture, as part of the in the Watari district of Mie Prefecture, as part of the Ise-Shima National Park, it has been designated as a place of scenic beauty and considered one of the most scenic spots in Japan. The name Futamigaura is said to originate from a visit to the area by Yamato Hime no Mikoto. According to the legend, the area's beauty caused her to look back upon it, leading to Futami, look twice, becoming part of his name. Oh, Jesus Christ, help me, God. Okay, let me grab water. I'm gonna need water. I'm back. Also, I was watching someone play this game and doing basically just the diving part, and I may have spoiled myself on some things. Moving on. One more sip. The Tales of Issei, a collective of verse or uta monogatari, thought to be the oldest surviving work in Japan. It is particularly well known for the opening sentence of many of its prose passages. Long ago, there was a man believed to have been compiled in the Heian period. In great, it greatly influenced the literature of the era, including famous works such as The Tale of Genji. The central figure of the narrative is speculated to be a fictionalized version of Ariwara no Narihara, a poet of the Heian period. In the prose passage, serving as a biography for the character. Both the author and his exact date of publication are unknown. Narrative spans 125 episodes, which vary in length from a few lines to several pages. It covers the life of a man from his coming of age to his death and focuses primarily on the protagonist and the people around him, particularly his romantic dalliances with women. Some of its most famous episodes are summarized below. We're gonna read all of them. Uikoburi, having come of age, a man sets out on a ceremonial falconry excursion. Where he catches sight of two beautiful sisters infatuated, he cuts off the sleeve of his robe, inscribed a waka poem on it, and sends it to them. Very romantic. Akutagawa, a man having finally succeeded in stealing away a beautiful noble woman, flees with her to a warehouse where they take shelter from the rain. However, the man discovers in the morning that she has disappeared, devoured by a demon that inhabited the warehouse. Sad. Episode 9. Azuma Kudari. Feeling despondent about his future, a man embarks on a journey. So this is all Tales of Genji. Let's see. Okay. This is all the same man? Embarks on a journey to the east with a group of friends in Mikawa province. He catches sight of some beautiful flowers and reflects on how far his journey has brought him. and recites a poem. In Soraga province, he sees snow on the peak of Mount Fuji, contemplates the passage of time, and recites a poem. In Musashi province, he spots an unfamiliar bird on the shore of the Sumida River, recalls his wife and hometown, and recites a poem. He recites a lot of poem. His friends all weep upon hearing the latter, moved by his feelings for his faraway home. Episode 23, Izutsu. Tutsuizutsu. Close friends from childhood. A man and a woman exchange poems and are wed. But when the man prepares to travel to faraway Kawachi province to visit his other lover, the woman displays no hint of displeasure as she sees him off on his journey. Suspicious of her actions, the man hides in the garden and watches as his wife makes herself up as beautifully as she can. But when she then sits and recites poems out of concern for her traveling husband, he feels a profound shame and decides not to go to Kawachi. Eh, That's it. Episode 69, nice. Kari no Tsukai. Having been sent to Ise province to hunt game, a man is received with great hospitality by the imperial princess, serving as a priestess at Ise shrine. Oh, this could be what's her name? Otohime? No. Attracted to each other, the two attempt to meet in secret, but can find no opportunity to speak intimately. Although they promise one another to meet the following day, it is not meant to be. The two exchange poems of farewell before the man sets out to continue his journey. Yeah, I feel like this is something to do with Otohime. Maybe? Episode 95, Hikoboshi. Having fallen in love with a woman who serves in the imperial court, a man finally manages to meet her after patiently waiting for the right moment. However, the two are still separated by a screen. The man recites a poem to her, proclaiming that his love for her is greater even than Hikoboshi's love for Orihime. He compares the screen separating them to the Milky Way that separated the two legendary lovers. Moved by his words, the woman removes the screen, allowing them to finally meet face to face. Toba City, city adjacent on the northeastern tip of Shima Peninsula, adjacent to Ise City and Shima City, along with the city itself. Its administrative area also encompasses four populated islands. The combined area of modern Toba City and Shima City was formerly known as Shima Province. Its coastline features one of Japan's most notable Ria coasts and is renowned not only for its maritime industries but also for its popularity as a tourist destination. Having originally sprung up as a castle town of the Toba domain, the years following the Meiji era saw Toba flourish as the center of the Shima region. With an abundance of marine products available in its waters, it is also famous for being a home to the highest number of active ama divers in Japan. There are many guest houses run by ama divers and fishermen along the shore, providing visitors to the area with the opportunity to enjoy fresh seafood. Ijika Town. Wait, this is a different one. Is this where I saw the mermaid? I'm pretty sure this is where I saw the mermaid. So this is where the guy fought Sirs. The guy in Sirs fought. Ijuka Town is a fishing settlement located within Toba City on the eastern tip of Shima Peninsula. The area takes its name from Ijikajima, an island offshore of the region. Okay. So this covers until Kamishima. It is said that the hollow in the center of the island was so reflective as to resemble a mirror, leading to Yamatohime no Mikoto giving it its current name, which is written with the characters for stone and mirror, Ijika. Mm. The Rias coastline is a particularly beautiful sight and is well known as a spot to watch the sunrise. It is also notable as the filming location of the first entry in one of Japan's most famous monster film and sees many visits from the fans as a result. Mount Asama. It's in Futamigaura. Mount Asama straddles the border between Ise City and Tobo City and is also known by its official name Asamagatake. Part of the Ise Shimo National Park, it was selected as one of the 100 landscapes of Japan, a listing of famous scenic sites gathered across the country. Kongo Shoji, a temple located on the southern peak of Mount Asama, was built to protect Ise Shrine from the northeast, traditionally regarded as a spiritual vulnerable direction. Interesting. Perhaps as a result, many worshippers who visit Ise Shrine also make the journey to Kongo Shoji. The observatory at the peak of the mountain offers a sweeping view of Toba City and many islands that dot Ise Bay. Help me. Help me, I'm only at number 10. Two City. This is far up. The city located in the center of the Ise Plain and capital of Mie Prefecture. Previously known as Anotsu, Tsu City has served as a port town since the Heian period, after which it continued to flourish as an important port city for Japan. Tsu City is also known as the birthplace of the Heike. All right, yeah, I remember that. The Ichigo, hello, welcome in. Witness me read for probably 4 hours today or something. I don't know when I'm gonna get done. The Ubushina area in its suburbs is said to be where Taira no Kiyomori's father, Taira no Tadamori, was born. That's number 11. Only 40 more to go. Betsuho. It's in Tsu City. Betsuho is the old name for the area now known as Nakabeppo, Kawage Town in the Age district, so named during the events of this story. It has since been merged with Tsu City of Mie Prefecture. Said to have been the territory of Taira no Kiyomori's father, Taira no Tadamori, the area has deep connections to the Ise Heike. It is also said to be the location where three mermaids were caught in a fisherman's net and presented to Taira no Tadamori during the Heian period. Memories are starting to come back to me. So one of the mermaids, or two of the mermaids, were let go, and one of them were eaten by the fisherman because Taira no Tadamori rejected the mermaids. Ano Town is located in the Aga district, so named during the events of this story. It has been merged with Tsu City. Wait, what? Both of them? Both of them. Interesting. Located at the foot of Kyogamine, a mountain with a single 819-meter peak, the land surrounding it is rich in natural splendor and multiple hot springs welling forth from the earth around it. From the Edo period until the Meiji period, it was known for being the primary place of production of tsumochi, a delicate fabric woven in such a way as to be transparent. Okay, they are both in two, right? Okay. Kamishima, an island situated between Atsumi and Shima peninsulas, and most distant of the four populated islands under the administration of Toba City in Mie Prefecture. It has an area of approximately zero point 0.7 square kilometers and a population of about 900. The island's name comes from the turtle-like shape with kame meaning turtle in Japanese, famous for its karst landscapes and other beautiful scenery. Kamishima is a popular location for tourists year-round. Recently, the island's youth organization has been leading a revitalization effort to boost the local economy and strengthen the community, creating an island logo and mascot character, Kameshi Maru, which are expected to bring more people to the area. This one I know. Lighthouse on the eastern side of Kamishima, the narrow passage between Cape Irago and Kamishima has long been known to be difficult to navigate, particularly at night. So much so that it's been featured alongside the whirlpools of Awa and Ondo no Setsu Strait in sailor songs about the most feared waterways. Following its construction in the Meiji era, spurred by reports of warships striking reef in the area, the lighthouse has continued to stand watch over the waters of the island, ensuring safe passage to all who travel them. Amishimaru is the mascot. Southern Sea is the 5 years ago. Yuza is the um, first protagonist. Taishima is the missing island. I know that. Amadivers are Amadivers, obviously. Besieged by someone for. Okay, yeah, I remember it. I just remembered Seiman from the first game. The term Ama. Oh, I've read this. I'm pretty sure I've read this. I'll read it again. Why not? Since I'm reading anyway. The term Ama, most often written with character meaning sea and woman, generally refers to women who free dive for shellfish, seaweed, and other marine products. It is said that they practice free diving both to prevent overharvesting and to help protect the marine environment. Although AMA divers operate in many regions in Japan, the Toba and Shima regions are known for having the highest number of AMA divers. These regions also exhibit customs unique to the area, such as the practice of carrying objects with the Seiman and Doman symbols to ward off misfortune. Doman has to be a name of like a very old person or something. Even within Toba and Shima, rules and practices can vary greatly. For example, the practice of wearing white attire over the wetsuit is a common practice only in the Shima region. Despite the high population of Amadivers in Ise City, there are none to be found north of Ise City. This can be explained by the difference in the seafloor composition between the two areas. While the sandy seafloor near Ise allowed for net fishing, the rocky seafloor in the Toba and Shima areas made net fishing difficult, leading to the adoption of free diving as an alternative. Abalone harvested by Amadivers in Kozaki town in Toba has traditionally been processed into ceremonial dried goods known as noshi awabi, which are then presented as an offering at Ise Shrine. This practice is said to have originated when Yamato Hime no Mikoto, the princess who enshrined Amaterasu at Ise Shrine, was searching for a suitable food to offer to the gods who enshrined Amaterasu at Ise Shrine. When presented with abalones by an Amadiver named Oben, the princess found them exceptionally delicious and decided that abalone would be the primary offering for the region. As a result, the Amadivers of Toba and Shima have a strong connection to the region's Shinto rituals, and there are some regions where they perform ritual dances as offerings during Shinto festivities. Note, although Ama is sometimes written with characters meaning sea and man, when divers is male, yeah, okay. This this game uses when divers is male, this game uses only traditional characters of sea and woman when language is set to Japanese. Seiman and Doman, protective symbols widely worn by Ama divers in Shima and Toba. The star-shaped symbol is known as Seiman, and the lattice-like symbol is known as Doman. Do I know a Doman? The two symbols are often embroidered side by side or drawn on clothing using purple dye made from shells. They are worn by ABBA divers when diving to ward off potential disasters that might befall them at sea. This star just reminds me of the five, the final five, the final puzzle of the first game, where you have five symbols and you have to sort them. Tomokazuki, yes, this I know. It's by Mermaid Legend, this I know as well. Mermaids, this I know as well. Yes. Yao Bikuni, I know as well. Yeah, okay. Mermaid Mummy, we just went through that. Tale of Urashima Taro. This is the guy who got lost, right? Long, long ago, a youth by the name of Urashima Taro lived in a village by the sea. One day, upon rescuing a sea turtle that was. Yeah, okay. I remember this. This I know as well. The next ones, I feel like I know, but I should refresh it anyway. 800-year immortal. A person who has gained a 100-year lifespan after being cursed by a mermaid. Someone who ingests part of the body of a mermaid that meets certain conditions will be cursed and become a being known as an 800-year immortal. Once cursed, the individual's own body is lost, and a provisional body is reconstructed using the parts of the mermaid ingested as a medium. Their soul is then transferred to the provincial body, which they are able to control as if it were their own, with their consciousness presiding over both their soul and body from the head. As such, they could already be considered to be more spirit in nature than human. If the individual is fatally wounded or contracts an illness that results to their death, their body will instantly be restored to its default state, allowing them to revive. In the event they lose any body parts, their heart will treat the largest remaining part. In the event they lose any body parts, their heart will treat the largest remaining part of them as their main body and regenerate any lost parts from there, with the removed parts subsequently vanishing. This even occurs in the event that the lost body part is the head. However, these individuals heal from non fatal wounds at only a slight faster rate than their bodies would be capable of naturally. Trying to internalize this. So Sato could be an 800-year immortal then. Because she just regenerated. She just revived even. I could be the immortal as well. Wait a minute. Or Yuza, I mean, Yuza. Damn. That's huge. As these people feel physical sensations and pain to the same extent as they would have in their original body, it is extremely difficult to tell whether an individual is an 800-year immortal or not unless they die, even for the individual themselves. Okay. The lifespan of this provisional body is 800 years from the time of its creation, due to the individual's original body already being lost. Not even the mermaid responsible for the original curse is able to dispel it. The individual will only see the end of their long life once 800 years have passed. Somin Shorai. Oh, yeah, this is a talisman. The Heike is lineage, yes. I probably should read this, even though it's oh so long. Masamori, Tadamori, Kyomori. Many, many Moris. Heike were part of the Ise Taira clan, which it was itself an Ise-based branch of the Taira clan, a prominent samurai family of the Heian period. Although the entire Ise Taira clan was greatly influential, Heike referred. Okay, yeah, I remember one of them is the current curse. Heike refers to the particularly prosperous lineage of Taira no Masamori, Taira no Tadamori, and Taira no Kiyomori. Masamori, Tadamori, Kiyomori. Okay, understood. I'm gonna forget. Known as one of the most prominent samurai families in the Heian period alongside the Minamoto clan, and the Taira clan was originally based in the Kanto region. However, following Taira no no Masakado's uprising against the central government in the year 935 and its suppression at the hands of Taira Sadamori, the latter's son, Korehira moved to Ise province, where he came to wield significant political power. This was the start of what would become known as the Ise Taira clan. Understood? 4 generations on from Korehira, Taira no Masamori consolidated the family's influence in Ise. His successor, Tadamori, was granted permission to enter the imperial court in 1132, eventually attaining a rank equal to that of nobility. The distinguished military exploits of Tadamori's son, Taira no Kiyomori, further led to Kiyomori's promotion to Daijo Daichin, Chancellor of the realm, the highest possible governmental rank in 1167. In 1180, Kiyomori's daughter, Noriko, married into the imperial family, and her son ascended the throne as emperor, enabling the Heiket to consolidate their monopoly and political authority. Thus, the Taira clan came to dominate the political landscape of the time. Such was their wealth and power that one member of the clan is said to have remarked that all those who did not belong to the Taira clan were to be considered people of no position. Damn. However, this golden age of the Taira clan did not last long. Their arrogant rule and dictatorial grasp on power led to many turning against the Taira clan, and the steering of rebellion soon came to a head, with several prominent figures joining forces in a bid to overthrow them. In the midst of resulting years of warfare, Kiyomori died of illness in March 1181. Despite losing one of their key members, the Taira clan continued to struggle against their opponents, but to no avail. In 1185, they were finally defeated in the Battle of Dan Nora, and many of its members, including Kiyomori's grandson, Emperor Antoku, who was still a child at the time, were lost beneath the waves of Dan Nora, burdened with unfulfilled ambitions. Lost beneath the waves. It is said that Kusanagi no Tsurugi sword, one of the three imperial regalia of Japan, regarded since ancient times as a symbol of imperial authority, was also lost to the sea that day. After their defeat, the surviving members of the Taira clan, now disgraced as fallen warriors, scattered across the country and lived out their days in hiding. Even to this day, legends of the Taira clan survivors persist in various regions across Japan. Uh, should I assume that I'm also like a descendant of them? Tadamori, Taira no Tadamori, the father of Taira no Kiyomori, an influential figure of the Heian period, was the man responsible for solidifying the social standing of the Ise Taira clan, and was notable for being the first samurai permitted to enter the imperial court. Entering the imperial court meant being granted access to the Tenjo no Ma, a chamber where those who directly served the emperor performed their official duties. In an era where the warrior class was still considered of low status, a samurai rising to the level of court official was unprecedented. The Ise Taira clan went on to extend its influence across various provinces, with the vast wealth it gained through trade, with the Song dynasty of China solidifying its foundation. This significant influence was later inherited by his son, Kiyomori. Tadamori was said to have been a man of strong will and perseverance, yet, despite the power he amassed in his lifetime, he was also said to have been modest and disinclined to indulge in luxuries, unlike his son, I guess, Nukemaru. Tadamori's sword, an heirloom passed down through Taira clan, originally named Kogarashi. It is said to have become known as Tukemaru when a giant snake emerged from a lake and made to swallow Tadamori whole as he lay resting. At the moment, Kogarashi, which Tadamori had left leaning nearby, slipped from its scabbard of its own accord and drove the snake away. The name Nukemaru derives from the word nuku, means to unsheath, and reflects the sword's extraordinary act of slipping from its scabbard on its own to save its owner. So is this a sword? I'm confused. I thought it was Kiyomori. Nokemaru was later inherited by Tadamori's son, Yorimori, a different one. But after the downfall of Taira clan, it is said to have changed hands several times, and its whereabouts are currently unknown. The mermaids of Betsuho. One time, when Tadamori was visiting Betsuho in Ise province, three creatures with the heads of humans, the lips of monkeys, and teeth and bodies of fish were caught in a local fisherman's nets. Dubbing the creatures Ningyo, the original Japanese word for mermaids, the fisherman put okay. So Tadamori is the one that the fisherman presented the mermaids to. The fishermen put two of them in a box that had washed up with them and presented them to the Tadamori. However, Tadamori was unnerved by their appearance and refused to accept them. It is said that the remaining mermaid was cut up and eaten by the fisherman, who found them to be delicious. This one I don't know where to put. Cookie, Princess Hatsune. The Kuki clan, the pirates who became feudal lords. During the Sengoku period, Shima province was home to a number of local clans, among which the Kuki clan was just one of the many pirate clans operating in Ise Bay. However, things changed when Kuki Yoshitaka correctly read the changing tides and allied himself first with Oda Nobunaga and then Toyotomi Hideyoshi, both powerful figures of the era. Rising to prominence as commander of the Kuki Navy, he became the feudal lord of Shima province, founding Toba Castle as his base of operations. While Yoshitaka was in the service of Nobunaga, the head of Kuki clan was his nephew, Sumitaka. So, since this they're mentioning Nobunaga, when was Nobunaga relevant? It's like 1500s onwards, no? Because the other ones were 1180 ish. So this is a different timeline. Where was I? With Yoshitaka serving as his advisor. Despite his position, Sabitaka was little more than a puppet lord and died young, reportedly due to illness, just 2 years after the Honnoji incident. Oh no. Wait. The Seven Mysteries of Honjo, it's a different one. However, some theories suggest that he was actually poisoned by Yoshitaka as part of a scheme to seize control of the family. The legend of Princess Hatsune. Kuki Sumitaka's daughter, Princess Hatsune, was said to have been a woman of great beauty. Sumitaka planned to marry her off as a okay, good. Marry her off as a part of political marriage, However, Princess Hatsune refused, saying that she had already promised her future to someone else. Upon hearing that Princess Hatsune's beloved was a member of an enemy clan, Sumitaka was enraged and insisted that she marry the person he had chosen for her. Although Princess Hatsune made numerous attempts to escape in order to be with her lover, she was caught each time and forced to return home. Despairing of her fate, Princess Hatsune lamented her beauty, blaming it for the predicament before throwing herself down a well in her sorrow. As she did so, she prayed with her last breath that no beautiful women would ever be born in that land again, or so the legend goes. Despite the tale perse- persevering as part of the local folklore, many questions about the accuracy of Princess Hatsune's legend remain, including Sumitaka's age at the time. Why? Oh, because Sumitaka could be an immortal? Is that what they're talking about? Okay. Who is the other person? Do I know the other person? Paranormal affairs, we know that. Occult craze. Spiritual phenomena, the supernatural, aliens, cryptids, lost civilization, extra sensory perception, and the list goes on. Such unexplainable phenomena are quick to take on a life of their own. A plesiosaur named Nessie living in Loch Ness, sightings of mythical creatures like the Tsuchinoko or Hibagon, the urban legends of the Kuchisake Onna and Hanako-san, television reports of spoon-bending psychics, documentaries featuring spirit photography and UFOs that become the talk of the school the next day. These are only a few examples of stories that have captivated the public's interests. Magazines specializing in paranormal phenomena continue to thrive with no end in crazy sight to the crazy insight. Curse stones, a type of curse tool that allows even people without spirit sense to wield curses. As long as the tool meets the above criteria, items of any shape or sizes may be referred to as curse stone. Many curse stones have conditions that must be fulfilled for them to use them, often based on the spiritual power and characteristics of the curse itself. If a curse stone has low spiritual power, it may only be possible to use under specific circumstances, such as when under the influence of the Feast of Shadows, a spell that heightens the potency of certain types of spiritual energy. So, Feast of Shadows is ongoing right now, I believe. Psychics and Spirit Sense. I think this is pretty self explanatory. The Curse of Raging Waves. The curse that causes an outbreak of turbulent waves and violent storms in the seas around Kabeshima. It is said that the curse was born from the resentment of the former resident of Taishima. An island was located to the south of Kameshima after someone brought about its destruction. Some believe that several of the that have struck Kameshima in the past were actually caused by this curse in some manner, including the Kameshima South Sea disaster that occurred 5 years ago. The person accused of bringing the curse to Kameshima was called the Raging Waves Curse Bearer and was shunned by the island's inhabitants, which is Somikawa. But like Somikawa was from Taishima, but she was like an invader in Taishima. No? Almost done. We're almost there. Tobasi with skeletons, we know that. We know this. How to play, I know that, hopefully. Diving controls, I know that, hopefully. Diving tips, we'll worry about that later. Okay, good. Now to people. Oh, Lee. I have not seen a mention of Kipe Ikoma. Wait. Is this? Hold on. Where was it? I almost brushed that through. Toba seaweed skeletons, a case in which multiple. Finally, it was the very last one, in which multiple human skeletons were recovered from a deep fissure in the Toba seabed. The initial estimate indicated that at least five bodies had been disposed of there. The following information has not been made available to the public. Victims' identities unclear. All victims are male. Each body is thought to have been disposed of at different times. The most recent body dates about 6 years ago. Facial sketch of this individual obtained using Soto Kiryu's Shagan ability. I have a bad feeling about this. Testimonies indicate that the individual in this sketch resembles a youth by the name of Kipe Ikoma, who went missing 6 years ago. He has no known relatives. The other remains show signs of gradual aging, with the oldest dating back more than 30 years, although the presence of older has also been confirmed. They have completely decayed, and it's impossible to tell how old they are. Oh, wait. So, when you become um, an 800-year immortal, don't you like leave your body behind, and you embody the body of the mermaid? Am I understanding that correctly? So maybe Kipe Ikoma, just a theory, ate a mermaid, and so his actual body is the one that they found, or the skeletons that they found. Mhm. Just a theory. Impossible to tell how old they are. It is unlikely that the bodies could have drifted into the fissure naturally. So they thought that someone has been discarding them there every few years. But like they said, youth. It said here, youth. So he's getting older, I think. Each skeleton shows signs of a clean, precise cut inflicted by a sharp blade. Traces of a curse also detected from around the severed sections. The victims are believed to have been killed by a curse wielded by someone connected to the Heike. Okay. This guy is a lot older. Oh boy. Are you related to Osato? Alright, fine. Since I'm in the reading mood anyway, I'm just gonna read all of them. Yuza Minakuchi. I know I read what's his name? Kipe Ikoma somewhere. Look at this. Oh, oh Lord. They're so long. I think I'm good with the people. I'll pass with the people. Forgive me for my bluntness, but would you mind sparing me a few moments? I'd love to talk a little longer. Okay, Kipe Ikoma. I suppose that could be arranged. I'm not sure if I should trust him. Entertaining a weirdo might prove to be a pain. That said, he seems also. It seems he's also interested in mermaids. Perhaps we could get some information out of him. Mockingbirds. Mockingbirds. Okay. What do you think about sirs? What do you think, sirs? Feels like a scammer who targets foreign tourists. Quite the blunt one, aren't you, young lady? Okay. Is that all you have to say? Okay. The truth is, I'm currently planning a promotional tourism campaign for Ise-Shima region. I was thinking of using mermaid legends as the centerpiece of the campaign. Mermaids, huh? I'm sure you're already quite aware of the mermaid legends in Ise Bay, yes? I thought we could hold events and exhibitions centered around such legends to attract tourists. I see, so that's why you were interested in mermaids. Additionally, the Ise-Shima region is also famous for its pearls. I believe mermaids and pearls naturally complement one another. True, there is also a famous legend that a mermaid's tears turn into pearls when they are washed away by the ocean. Oh, such a story would do wonders for diving tourism in the area. Does this project mean you are knowledgeable about mermaids in Issei then, Mr. Ikoma? I suppose it does. I know a fair bit. For example, there are some mermaid legends that most people have never heard of. No, because they said that when they regenerate, I'm confused. I'm not going to make any conclusions yet. I'm still far from the halfway point of the story. Oh, do share. A long time ago, there was an island south of Kameshima known as Taishima. Have you heard of it? I'm afraid I haven't. It rings a bell. It was also called Taishima by some. Is it not? Oh, Taishima. Okay. That's absolutely right. It is said that once upon a time, three mermaids lived on Taishima. Wow, three of them? Tell me, were there human mermaids or fish mermaids? Human mermaids? Well, I suppose the upper bodies were human, so I suppose you could describe them as such. I see. Then that would separate them from the three mermaids discovered in Betsuho during the Heian period. The ones presented to Tadamori? Oh, this is the first I've heard of this tale. However, Taishima sunk about 400 years ago during a natural disaster. The mermaids seem to have vanished after that. What? So that's such a shame. I cannot read. I was never able to read. That's why I need water. Regardless, it is said that the three mermaids were named Soae, Nagame, and Hayase. Aren't they the same ones? Where are my mermaids? Where are my mermaids at? Yeah. Where did I read that? I thought those were the ones given to the Tadamori. So the mermaids were named too, huh? That definitely adds to the authenticity of the story. Pardon me, Mr. Ikoma. I never came across such concrete information. Where did you learn this? I don't blame you for questioning my sources. I also haven't managed to find any records of this tale. You see, the story was passed down through word of mouth. As it turns out, there was a single man who managed to escape the island's destruction. His descendants have kept the legend alive. A single man. Aha, so it's one of those descendants you heard the story from, unless it's him. That's right, they live a modest private life these days. When the story comes straight from a descendant like that, it does lend some credibility. I would love to inquire deeper about these Taishima mermaids. If you don't mind, could you share the identity of this descendant you speak of? What is this? Oh. My apologies, but I'm afraid I cannot oblige. She's not the friendliest sort. Frankly, even I have trouble getting her to open up. Her. It's gotta be Somikawa, but then Somikawa's dead, no? I see, that's a real shame. Now, this may not be much consolation, but I have another interesting rumor from this descendant to share. Oh, I'm all ears. It concerns one of the rumored Taishima mermaids. It is said that a few decades ago, one of those mermaids turned human and now lives among us. Among us. No kidding. She became human? It does ring a bell, though. Why, that is exactly the story of the Little Mermaid. What an exciting discovery. You say this was only a few decades ago. That makes it quite recent. This former mermaid could even be walking among the people here as we speak. If the story is true, then yes. However, I'll concede that even I find the story hard to believe. Yeah, sure. It is a little fantastical. By the way, may I ask why you're searching for Ise-based mermaids, Abby? No particular reason. I just thought it'd be fun to wander to some sightseeing areas related to the mermaid folklore, that's all. I see. Well, since you've traveled all the way to Japan to sightsee, I'd love to ask you some questions. Was there anything missing from the areas you've visited that you think might have made your trip more enjoyable? Hmm. What about those photo spots you put your face in? I know those. I love them. Really? Are they that interesting? They're a Japanese tourism classic. It would be nice to see more of them. Agreed. If I saw one, I would certainly take a photo with it. Hold on. Those photo spots where you put your face. Oh, the one with the holes? Oh, and please sell more of those little pennant flags. I can't resist them. I see. I truly appreciate the input, but perhaps things are fine as they are. Why ask then? If you discover anything new regarding the area's mermaids, please let me know. Understood. We hope you'll do the same for us. Okay. What you thinking about, sirs? Amazing. A brand new mermaid legend. The real question is why? Why? There's a long history of people making up legends to drive tourism. Such stories linger on, despite their veracity being entirely unverifiable. I suppose. Is something the matter? It's nothing. It's nothing. Well, it's about time for us to get going. Of course. Thank you, and apologize for taking so much of your time. Actually, since you've come all the way to Japan, if anything happens to you during your vacation here, or you need help, or you need any other help at all, please feel free to give me a call. I'm quite familiar with all sorts of businesses in the area. For example, I could put you up in touch with someone should you be looking to interview AMA divers. Oh, really? That's very kind. You're not just saying it as a formality, are you? A free spirited lad like myself will not hesitate to take you up on an offer like this. I will call you. Please do not hold back. I'll leave you to your sightseeing. Please have a good time. Okay, that was the flashback. Interesting. If mermaids really did live on Taishima, it's certainly worth investigating. Oh, let me save. Uh, Something I want to do. Second. I don't know what that save was for, but I'm overriding it. To be frank, I didn't come here to simply travel around researching Ise-based mermaid legends. My real goal is to find an actual mermaid. Oh yes, I had the feeling that was it. So you already knew. Exorcists sure have some keen instincts. What will you do if you find a mermaid? Do you want to become immortal? I suppose. Might as well, considering all the trouble finding one will be. Your reasoning is unexpectedly uninspired. Simple though it may be, I find the idea quite romantic, akin to ascending to a new stage of humanity. Sure, I guess. I take it you disagree with my thinking, sirs. I fail to see why my opinion should matter here. What you do is your decision to make. Though I'm not certain that immortal can still be called human. Still, your decision is irrelevant to my duty, so I will not try to interfere. Actually, being immortal would be a rare once-in-a-lifetime chance. Please transcend humanity and let me examine you. I'd prefer if you didn't speak of me like a research specimen, but I'll overlook it for now. Though I do wonder if immortality would actually bring you any happiness. When you look at old folk tales, it tends to be less of a blessing and more of a curse. Jeez, don't say that after I already made up my mind and everything. Well, I'm sure you'll be alright. If you tire of immortality, you need only embark on a journey, like a modern-day Yao Bikuni. That is one way to look at it, though I think the nun part might be an issue. Well, I shouldn't get too far ahead of myself. There's no immortality to be had till I find mermaid flesh to bite into. So let's start there. Understood. I'm also quite interested in finding a mermaid myself. Okay, okay. What else? Surely that's not all. Searching just for mermaid meat alone seems like a waste. Agreed. The best way to go about this would be to go find a living human mermaid. This is quite exciting. Now this is what I call a true adventure. No matter the era, there's nothing better than a quest for the unknown. What else do you want me to do? Mosquito repellent? Each room is equipped with a mosquito trap. They tend to come in through the windows on hot days. It is a net contraption. You just need to plug it in and place it, and it will kill all nearby mosquitoes. Traps like these are reliable as well as easier and safer than the combustible type, so they've gotten quite popular. Oh, there's a scroll. This is the Murakumote. It's a small inn located in Toba. It's a laid-back inn that feels more like a private residence than a hotel thanks to the attentive staff. I could barely count all the different fresh fish we were served for dinner last night. I have not felt so full in a while. What if one of those fish is actually a mermaid? A hanging scroll perfectly complements the tatami room. This room may not have a dedicated alcove, but the scroll still really ties the room together. How lovely. Poster. This is a poster advertising the island of Kamishima. I'd love to pay a visit to a remote island like that. The name is intriguing too. Ah, Kame means thrilled, doesn't it? Amazing, Abby. You're doing so well. It's a poster of Kamishima. Here we go. I just can't shake this weird feeling. Huh? Why? Is there something wrong with the island or the poster? The poster, I believe. Do you mind if I take a closer look? My hunch was right. There's presence here. No way, come on, don't scare me like that. Sure. Ready? Yes, please proceed. You sure? Because I'll do it. I really will. There's no telling what may happen. Quit stalling. Oh, click it. That's a mockingbird. Got 5? You've now found 5 mockingbirds. You can now access the mockingbird relationship chart from the story chart screen. They got relationships? God damn. The lore deepens. Alright, where's the poster? The door to our room outside is a hallway with a restroom and wash basin for communal use. Guests place their shoes in the cubbies at the entrance and wear slippers while inside the inn. Surely that's not all. My bag, a faithful travel companion of several decades. Any other... Light is passing through the windows. It's hot outside, so I'll leave them closed for now. Dried flowers. I suppose this is the embodiment of Japanese concept wabi-wabi, or however you say it. What else do you want me to do? Do I talk to you after you pull the poster? As for lights for the room, a lot of attention was paid to creating a comfy atmosphere for the guests. What is this? What else do you want me to do? Towel hanger. It may resemble an L-shaped dividing screen, but I think this is actually a towel rack. You're close. It's a small clothes rack. I see, so that's what it is. Yes, normally it's used to hang kimonos, but this one is quite small, so I suppose it would work well for towels and other small garments. You're quite knowledgeable. She is pretty smart. What else? Here? Am I missing something? Telephone? This phone can only be used to call the front desk. Outside calls are impossible. I'm worried yesterday that Sirs might struggle to sleep on just a foot in a tatami room like this, but he looks well rested, so I suppose she's used to it. I, on the other hand, was too excited to get much sleep. What else am I missing? It's Akoma's business card. He's the CEO of the event planning of company we ran into earlier. Eh? Map. Of course. This map looks quite old. Exactly. It is also the precise reason I have come to Mie. To put it simply, it's no ordinary map. This is a mermaid treasure map. Mermaid treasure map? Allow me to explain. Oh, it's me. I'm explaining. I found this mermaid treasure map in the family storage. I should explain it to Sirs. Sirs, let's talk. There we go. Found this moment in the old family storage. It was left behind by my great-grandmother. Is she your great-grandmother? That would make her my great-grandmother's sister. I heard she was exiled from the Lunar Light family because of her eccentricities. That's correct. She was quite fond of the occult and amassed a number of suspicious curios over her lifetime. As a child, I loved searching through the warehouse that housed her collection. It was like a treasure hunt of wonders: a demon's tail, a yeti's bone, a book of black magic, Ogopogo's tooth, a piece of UFO, and crystal skull. I remember Ogopogo. So Ogopogo is the dog of Yoko from the first game, but I don't know if that name is based on something else in Folktale, or if this tooth is actually the dog's tooth. No, that happened much later, so probably a folktale. I cannot vouch that any of it is authentic, but it was still so exciting to look through. It's no exaggeration when I say that this very storehouse is what led me down the path of becoming a fantasy author. I suppose that's the kind of formative experience an occult writer needs. Just so. I have to thank my great-grandmother. She's the reason I could put food on the table. And among the items in that collection was this. I see, a mermaid mummy. Precisely. They were rather prevalent as slideshows and the like all over the world in the 19th century. Mermaid mummies from Japan were quite popular because of their high quality. A number of them even made their way to Europe. This one probably made its way to the family storage around that time. It was probably passed from one seller to another until it ended up in my great-grandmother's hands. How are you sure it was made in Japan? Well, you see, I give this mummy a thorough investigation. I even took it apart. Surely enough, it was made of wood and paper clay. But lo and behold, I also found this map inside. Truly, you found the map inside a mummy? Whoever made it all those years ago must have snuck the map inside. I doubt my great-grandmother had the slightest idea it was even there. It was even in there. That's an incredible discovery. It is simply tantalizing, is it not? There is not a doubt in my mind that it will lead to the most thrilling discovery. So then, why did you call this the Mermaid treasure map? Well, it was hidden inside the mermaid mummy, so it follows it must be a treasure map of sorts, no? I feel it's fair just to surmise it. It must have something to do with immortality too. I see. Your enthusiasm has carried you quite a ways from home. I'm impressed. Thank you. I have no doubt a treasure lies somewhere in Issei Bay. What a shame there's no X to mark the spot. Indeed, and this leads us to our first conundrum. Any idea how to decipher these maps, sirs? Put me on the spot, why don't you? But it does look like something is written there. Do you know what it says? Oh, that part. I actually did some research on that. Apparently, it says search the 95th. 95th? What? Oh no. Hold on. Oh yeah, this is just the collection of my mockingbirds. Search the 95th. 100 famous Japanese scenic spots. Ooh, I have to find that. Search the 95th. That sure makes it sound like it leads to a secret location of some sort. Yes, and it must be related to mermaids. Aren't you just itching to find it? You know it. I knew it. I'm counting on you to help me solve this map's riddle. Oh wait, I just remembered. Hmm? You said you could always douse, no? Can't you just douse for the treasure? Then we can skip the whole map and riddle business together. I apologize, but that's impossible. Truly, but why? Dowsing is usually used to find waterways, veins, and other such things. My dowsing, however, can be used to find people and objects imbued with spiritual power. However, I must be familiar with the spiritual power that I'm looking for. Oh, I see. In other words, you wouldn't be able to find a treasure you've never seen or heard of. Yes, the distance from which I can detect the source also depends on how strong the spiritual power is. This is foreshadowing. This is gonna come in handy. We're gonna be meeting someone or something, and we're gonna be searching for it. Okay, I'm making a mental note in my head. Obviously, there's where the mental note is that Cersei's. We're looking for like if Cersei's a dog, we're looking for something she can sniff. It's not quite the superpower I thought it was. I say we've had enough of a diversion. Let's get back to investigating your map. Let's take a good look. Yep. Oh, there's something behind. Did you notice something? It looks like something's written on the other side. I see. I must have missed something. I should carefully hold the edge when I look to the other side. Oh. Ooh. Is this a constellation of some sort? Eureka! Inspiration strikes! I figured it out. Have you? Did you? Where's the treasure map? Give up. I've no doubts left. It is here, behold. Oh, what makes you say so? Well, it's simple. This very spot marks the answer to the riddle. Taishima? Seriously, I can't imagine that's actually Taishima. Nine. Maybe less inspiration struck than I first assumed. I'll have to think about this more. Okay. So there, I do see some dots. Put the map down. Put it down. How about I turn this on? Can I do that? Okay. I say we've had enough of diversion. Let's get back to investigating your map. Wait, am I supposed to know something? All right. Envision. Okay. Ijika town. So I saw big dots here, here, and here. But like, what are the dots about? Hold on. This has something to do with the triangle. I have to. Oh no! 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 Go back there. I have to screenshot this so I can see. Otherwise, I'm just flipping through things. Okay. Open this. And then, let me go back to the map. Hikoboshi Orihime Deneb. Oh, it is! It is almost exactly... Wait. Aquila. Inspiration strikes. I figured it out. Do you? Where's the treasure? Oh, wait. Hold on. Hold on. So let me go back to... Because it's exactly... It's just mirrored horizontally. So I need to read this. Man, the things that I missed are the things that are important. Possibly the most famous of the summer constellations, the Summer Triangle is formed by connecting Vega in the constellation Lyra, Deneb in the constellation Cygnus, and Altair in the constellation Aquila. Vega and Altair are also said to represent Orihime and Hikoboshi, the two central figures in the Tanabata legend, the romantic imagery of the star-crossed lovers separated by the Milky Way. So, Vega and Altair separated by the Milky Way. Got it? I will get back to that because the dots that I'm seeing is flipped. It's mirrored horizontally, flipped horizontally. But where's the treasure? Has captivated people's imaginations since time immemorial. How to find this summer triangle? Summer triangle is visible in the night sky almost directly overhead around August. Start by facing southwest and looking low in the sky to find Antares, the bright red heart of the constellation Scorpius. From there, look straight up and you should spot Vega near zenith. Okay. So should I Hikoboshi and Orihime? Hikoboshi. So looking at this, right? Deneb, Vega, Altair. Deneb, Vega, Altair. It's a map of Visa Bay, judging from its condition. It's quite old. If I were to guess, I would say it's over 100 years old. No, perhaps even more than 200 years old. I wonder how old it really is. So would I say Hikoboshi? Eureka. Deneb, Vega, Altair. What makes you say so? Why, simple. The very spot marks the answer to a riddle. Hikoboshi? Allow me to explain. You see, the 95th in the riddle must refer to the 95th tale in the Tales of Ise. Did I just like guess that? Oh, I am so dumb. I guessed correctly, but like I totally forgot there's 100 tales. I thought we're going to go through the 100 landscapes or whatever. Having fallen in love with a woman who serves in the imperial court, a man finally managed to meet her after patiently waiting for the right moment. However, the two are still separated by a screen, the Milky Way. The man recites a poem to her, proclaiming that his love for her is greater even than Hikoboshi's love for Orihime. Oh, it is a completely different story, but it's about Hikoboshi and Orihime. He compares the screen separating them to the Milky Way that separated the two legendary lovers. Moved by his words, the woman removes the screen, allowing them to finally meet face to face. I got it, I'll take it. And the title of the tale is none other than Hikoboshi. Next, note how the summer triangle constellation is drawn on the back. The location of Hikoboshi or Altair corresponds to this very spot on the map. That was a cute clap. Incredible. I should have expected nothing less. You're truly a genius, Abby. Nothing compares to the rush of breakthrough. Let's keep riding this high. That was a total fluke, but I'll take it. Okay. We'll definitely solve this map's riddle. Even if we were to search the area on the map, it's in the middle of the sea. How are we supposed to search a place like that? Looking for an unknown object somewhere on the large swath of seafloor seems like an impossible task. You're right. That does sound difficult. We might have to ask our friendly CEO for help. Oh no. He did give us his card. However, wouldn't that mean we'd have to inform him of the map? No other way about it. In addition, should we find anything, I imagine he'll expect a share of the spoils. I really wanted to keep it all to myself. Sharing is the worst. Mood. I understand, but we have no other options. It's a shame, but I suppose you're right. We should contact him as soon as we can. Okay. Oh, we are moving fast. We are moving quick. I can close my screenshot now. The next day. Hello, this is Ikoma. I'm calling about the seafloor investigation. I asked an AMA diver to investigate the area because I was keen to get results as soon as possible. However, she has not arrived. So, Mikao, oh, what? Damn. Dude, I'm impressed with the graphics of this game. I know it is a visual novel, but the 3D effects are impressive, which is why we're headed out there ourselves to assess the situation. We have nothing else to do after all. So he asked an AMA diver to investigate the seafloor in the area. I guess in a place like this, it would be faster to hire an AMA than a regular diver. Even in this age, you can still get some AMAs to do contracted dives, huh? It appears she was contracted to investigate for about an hour, at which point she was to return, even if empty-handed. I suppose the intel was just for her to survey the area to solve it. However, several hours passed with no word from the diver. I can see why Ikoma was worried. We'll start by checking out the location. We can request the police search after it if need be. Sirs, do you have a bad feeling about this? I do, ever since we first heard about this. You see, there's a strong negative spirit energy in the air that has only intensified as we approach the spot. Something happened there. The diver didn't make it back. Is it safe for us to go? I have a talisman that repels evil. It should be fine. Well, if you say so. Worst comes to worst, we'll reunite in the afterlife. Understood. Leave it to me. Damn. Ride or die. There's something there. It must be the Ama diver's boat. There doesn't appear to be anyone around. How unsettling. You're right. There's something terrible here. Is it really that bad? It is. I can tell even from this distance. It's coming from the bucket. It's the curse. It's saturated with sinister spiritual energy. There's some real powerful curse inside. Inside the bucket? Does that mean the Yama diver found something on the seafloor and brought it up to the surface? And perhaps succumbed to the curse while trying to get it out? Yes, unfortunately. As we cannot say for certain what misfortune this curse may call forth, I need you to remain cautious. Can you dispel the cursors? Depends on the curse itself, but I believe I may be able to handle one of this caliber. It's a relief. Is it really safe for us to approach the boat, though? Yes, it's fine, for me at least. Understood. If anything happens to me, I'll leave the rest to you. Oh my, there's a small metal box in the bucket. This has to be the source. Can we take it? Yes, provided I can overpower the malice it engulfed in. That was it. It should be safe to touch now. I'll leave that part to you. No problem. It's pretty heavy. What do you think this box is exactly? It appears to be quite old. It likely dates back to the same time period as your map. Here. Take a look at the symbol on the top of the box. Do you recognize it from anywhere? Oh, there's the strange symbol we saw on the map. Is this fair to say that the map was leading us toward this exact box? It all makes sense. Its identity all the more intriguing. Okay. There's something strange lines on the side. Perhaps it's some sort of pattern. That's the islands, I think. I have to rearrange them. It appears to open from the top, but it's not bulging at all. It would take quite a lot of strength to force it open. So 4, 1. That's probably okay. I missed something. I believe this box is sealed with powerful spiritual energy. It was probably sealed by a skillful sorcerer a long time ago. I doubt it will open by any normal means. 3, and then 2, I'm guessing. Yes. I feel something shifting whenever I turn it. Must be some kind of mechanism inside. And I suppose you'll want to align the box with the spiritual energy of this place. In English, please. It's likely that the mechanism for unlocking the box is activated by orienting the box in the right direction in the right order. I see. So I have to figure out where to point it. Leave it to me. I'm here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Side. 1. What? Now, how to open this metal box? I should investigate the box and rotate it so I could get a look at all 4 sides. Okay. Do I get to see all Hold on. Okay. So I'm here. To my left is island, which seems like this, number 2. To the north of me is just 2 islands overlapping. Which seems to be this. This would be south. Right. I'm not sure I really understand it, but I'll take out the box anyway. If I need help, I can always ask Sirs. First, let me figure this out. Okay, 2 islands. Number 1. Let me write it down. Two islands. Number 1. 4 is a small island and a small island. 2 is island and island. 3 is long island, small island, small island, small island, small island. See, this is high, which means it's far away. Three is the lowest. Second lowest. Third lowest. Okay. So I want to assume that 1 is pointing to this direction. The 2 island, this big island and this. Um, 2 is on the left, to the left. Island. 3. Maybe 3 is this. Wait, what? Confused. It's possible this area is key to getting the box open. We should try to figure it out before leaving. Got it. Oh, I'm stupid. I could rotate. Okay, let's see. 2 big islands. This is number 2. Right. This is probably number 4. Yeah, this. Is it not? So I think number 1, I mean. Is it not? Hell yeah. Oh, I felt something move inside the box. I must be on the right track. Ah, I see. Let's see. No? Here? Or do I have to do 2 first? Okay, 2. 2. Okay. 3 is here. What? Is it not this? 3. 4 is... It's too far away. Where's 4? Could it be clouds? Maybe it's like an invisible islands? No. Couldn't be clouds. It's not this. It was an invisible island. The right one is invisible. Yes, it's open. Congratulations, what's inside? Let's see. Huh? What is this? Some kind of small wooden carving? Oh. Curse stone, curse of the Forsaken Fish. Oh. Whoa, something came out! Yikes, what is this? Make it stop! A deep and painful resentful memory has invaded my mind. Drift forever. Ill-doers. Be as fish. Perish. You have acquired a curse of Forsaken Fish, Curse Stone. You can use it to turn people into fish and kill them. When you are submerged in the water of Ise Bay, it can even be used at a distance. Kill them when they are submerged in the water of Ise Bay. It can even be used at a distance provided the target meets the requirements. Use curse button when you wish to use the curse. Here we go. The game has started, finally. Okay, a curse born from the final moments of Hayase, a mermaid brutally tortured to death by humans on Taishima around 400 years ago. Damn. So it's a fish mermaid. The curse has power to kill any human submerged in water of Ise Bay by gradually turning them into a fish, starting from their feet. However, the excruciating pain suffered during the transformation often results in them dying before the metamorphosis is complete. The bodies of those who succumbed to the curse decay almost instantly, shriveling up into desiccated fibrous masses. Oh, that's what happened to Somikawa, I'm guessing. The curse can also be triggered remotely, provided that the curse bearer knows their victim's exact location. Oh, that is huge. So, my guess is that Ikoma asked Somikawa, maybe? Asked Somikawa to dive to investigate the bones. And when she did, Ikoma could have used this. But then, why is this here? Why is this here? Someone could have used this to mummify Somikawa. Mermaids inherently possess the ability to turn humans into fish at will. The curse of the Forsaken Fish is the result of that ability being turned into a conditional curse and sealed within a curse stone. That was a cool puzzle. I like it. I like puzzles. Alright. What the hell was that? I'm not certain. But I believe we may have just acquired a curse tool known as the Curse Stone. However, they are rarely possessed by such powerful curse echoes. How lucky. If you're truly congratulating me, then I'll happily celebrate with you, but can I ask something first? Of course. Am I cursed? Am I going to die? I wouldn't say you're a curse per se. There was a similar case in Tokyo last year. Last year? No. Hold on for a minute. I cannot think straight. This is far too overwhelming. An incredible amount of information flooded my mind just now. I need a moment to settle before I can take in anything else. You mean the resentful memory held by the curse? It's a phenomenon wherein the events leading up to the curse forming are passed on to the curse bearer, so that its grudge will spread. Oh, and curse bearer refers to someone who is haunted by the curse echo and thus unable to use the curse. Stop! I already told you I can't take any more information. Any new information. You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Curse echoes are the visual manifestations of curses. These manifestations are fundamental related to the origin of the curse, but they do not always take the same shape, sometimes appearing in a more abstract or disfigured form instead. Unlike spirits, they are manifested illusions, and as such have no consciousness of their own. A person afflicted by a curse that has a curse echo is called a curse bearer. Even among curses, a curse that contains a curse echo should be considered very powerful in and of itself. Ordinarily, those with no spirit sense would not be able to perceive a curse echo, but such individuals who become curse bearers by coming into possession of a curse stone or some other means can see other curse echoes. Curse stones. A type of curse tool that allows even people without any spirit sense to wield curses. As long as the tool meets the above criteria, items of any shape or sizes may be referred to as curse stones. Many curse stones have conditions that must be fulfilled for you to use them. Okay, I've had this before. Is it just the image that was added? Often based on the spiritual power and characteristics of the curse itself. If a curse stone has low spiritual power, it may only be possible to use it under specific circumstances, such as under the influence of the Feast of Shadows, a spell that heightens the potency of certain types of spiritual energy. One thing that I wish is on top of this new here, because sometimes the new information is just added on like a sheet that we've already read. I wish they would just like highlight the new stuff. Like if this is added, just highlight it so I know I don't have to read all of them to know which one I'm missing. I think I just learned why Taishima sunk 400 years ago. Let me sort out all of that first. Really? Tell me. Yeah, give me a minute. We're back. So, before they continue, I feel like they just uh, brutally tortured to death by humans of Taishima. Okay. Oh no, it's the person I don't want to see. Thank you for investigating the situation for me. I was involved in an accident many years ago, so I can't bring myself to go out to sea anymore. You've been a tremendous help. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. We've actually got our hands on something quite valuable, so we owe you thanks as well. That's great. I'd love to hear more about what you discovered, if you don't mind. Of course. I kind of don't want to share it with him. We're in Ikoma's debt. I suppose we ought to tell him everything we've learned. Mockingbirds. There's gonna be a mockingbird here. No? Will he believe us if we suddenly started talking about curses? Can we just not bring it up? I think you can explain it all without bringing them up. Well, we'll see how far we get. The diver I hired to perform the search was an ama diver living in Toba City by the name of Tamiko Suma. I thought there was no way we could pull off the search, but that's when she agreed to take on my request. I feel terrible about what happened. I can only hope that she's still out there somewhere, unharmed. She had no way of knowing how dangerous this job was. Please, I'm the one who sent her out there. If there is the blame to take, it is mine. But still, what exactly happened out there? About that, let's start with the metal box the Amadiver found. Please do. Let's talk about the Amadiver. It appears Miss Suma decided to take on my commission alone and set out to sea by herself. Perhaps things would have ended differently if there had been a boatman with her. Okay. So basically, this is the wooden carving box we found inside the metal box. I see. So your map indicated the location of this wooden carving. We believe so. The question is why? Why go all the way to not just hide it, but to conceal the map in a mermaid mummy? Oh, how intriguing. How very intriguing. I suppose a carving like that would have had some value back in the day, but to go through all the efforts to preserve it like this. I believe what I preserved was not the carving itself, but the mermaid's memory that was stored inside the curse. Dun dun dun. Curse. Dun dun. What now? That's right. In other words, the one who made the box entrusted it with a message, and we were the recipients. Please calm down. I'm feeling quite lost. I know you're quite excited, but I think we have no choice but to start explaining the curse. That's right. It's curse chit-chat time. You may be a bit rational to believe what I'm about to tell you, Mr. Ikoma. Even so, I ask you to try your best. If you're ready to hear it, I'm ready to say it. Come, give me your answer in the next 3 seconds. 3. Prepared, please tell me. Avi's so funny. I see, so the Taishima mermaid known as Hayase was killed by raiders. The hatred she left behind became a curse that entered this wooden carving. You, Avi, then inherited her curse in addition to information from 400 years ago in the form of a resentful memory. You absorb all of that quite efficiently. I'm impressed. It's actually not the first time I've heard of what can happen if one touches a cursed stone. Oh? Yes, but let's save the conversation for later. More importantly, you know what actually went down in Taishima 400 years ago. That's right, I know the truth. All of it. What happened, what didn't. You know it. You seem a bit frazzled. Do you need more time to collect your thoughts? There's no need to worry, I'm prepared, but it will take some time to explain. It's time to reveal what truly happened 400 years ago to Taishima and the mermaids. Take a sip of water. I'm ready. Please do tell. Around 400 years ago, the area of Shima province, which included Taishima, was governed by the Kuki clan. The leader of the clan at the time was Kuki Sumitaka, and it was his duty to protect the secret of the 3 mermaids living of Taishima. That must be Sobai, Nagame, and Hayase. However, the legend that eating mermaid flesh could grant immortal life was well known, so he secretly hid them on Taishima so no one would learn about their existence. It appears Sumitaka thought the mermaids as a sacred or divine existence. The thought of seeking immortality for himself likely never crossed his mind. The land where the mermaid lived was a sanctuary that he fiercely protected at all costs. In other words, Taishima was an island where people worshipped the mermaids in secret. Indeed, when the people living on the island were not simple commoners but guards tasked with protecting the sanctuary and its mermaids. Sumitaka was so dedicated to keeping the mermaid's secret that he kept the existence of Taishima out of historical records. The public believed the island was entirely uninhabited. I see. By keeping its existence hidden, he was able to keep the mermaid safe. However, a vassal of Sumitaka's uncle Yoshitaka learned about the mermaids on Taishima. Oh no. He passed this information on to Yoshitaka, who believed that obtaining immortality was a must to rise to the top in an era that was often plagued by war. He commanded his vassal to lead his army to Taishima and do whatever he had to do to return with the flesh of a mermaid. Sumitaka and those on the island resisted, but the invading army was far too powerful. The island was swiftly overrun. So, Sumitaka, what was the other one? Other name? Yoshitaka. So Somekawa is part of Yoshitaka's army? Question. Ultimately, Hayase was captured and brought before the vassal. The vassal tortured her, demanded she grant him the power of immortality. But Hayase did not yield, even to the most hellish torments. She screamed and cursed with despair and anger until her dying breath. That's horrible. The hatred Hayase felt at the moment of her death led to the creation of the curse of the forsaken fish. And that is what I learned from the resentful memory inside the cursed stone. But to be honest, that is only half. Half of what? Half of the memories. The other half is the memory of the one who left behind the metal box. Namely, the story of how the curse of the forsaken fish become cursed stone. What? There's more? That reminds me, I meant to ask the bento about the metal box. If it's been lying on the seafloor for 400 years, how come it wasn't discovered until now? It was most likely sealed inside a rock or something until a few months ago. So it was still away until a certain amount of time has passed. No, I believe the box and sealing may have been triggered by something. The other half? Yes, more water. Wah. Having failed to obtain immortality, the vassal flew into a rage. He had all inhabitants of Daishima slaughtered as revenge for keeping this secret. This guy was the worst. Finally, he continued his advance into the sanctuary the islanders had protected down to the last man. There he destroyed his shrine. What what irony that he came so close to the secret he had been so desperate to find. Are you saying the other two mermaids were still in the sanctuary? No, they had already fled Taishima. Actually, there were two survivors, Sumitaka's adopted daughter, Princess Hatsune. Adopted daughter also escaped the chaos of the invasion unscathed. There was one other islander who managed to survive as well, taking with him the treasure the mermaids had protected. The mermaid's treasure. I'm gonna stop doing voices even though I'm not doing it so well. This may shed some light on the descendant you spoke of earlier. Yes? Which is Ikoma, I'm guessing. Of course, she must be a descendant of the man that escaped that day. We now know she was correct when she spoke of 3 mermaids living on Taishima. So we do. Putting descendants aside for now, let's return to 400 years ago. The vassal's invasion and destruction of the sanctuary was like a trigger. As a reaction to the sanctuary's fate and their ill-deserved deaths, the sorrow and hatred of the islanders swirled together and formed in the curse of the raging waves, a natural disaster that shook the heavens when it descended upon Taishima. The curse bombarded Taishima with violent winds, earthquakes, and thunder. Then, in a final act to protect Taishima's lost sanctuary, they sank it into the sea to destroy all evidence of it ever existing. They destroyed it? The small island of Taishima sunk swiftly under the waves. The vassal of all his men were, of course, all killed thanks to the curse. But one problem remained. That wasn't the end of it? There's more? Taishima was destroyed in natural disasters caused by the curse of the raging waves. But the calamity continued for many days. But the calamity continued for many days. It must have seemed as though it would never end. I can't imagine how terrifying it must have been. Sabutaka even saw the famous Omnyoji to dispel the curse, but it wasn't successful. Same man again? He's gonna make an appearance? The curse would eventually sink to the bottom of the sea, alongside the sanctuary, and be sealed there. Only then did the calamity end. Yet it appeared that the curse was so powerful that it required a sacrifice to be truly sealed. Sacrifice? Not just any sacrifice, but a living one. Princess Hatsune offered herself up to be that sacrifice. You said that she was Subita. Okay, I'm going to have to. Where's Hatsune? Where's Hatsune Miku? With her last breath, that no beautiful women would ever be born in that land again. Throwing herself down a well in her sorrow, that doesn't line up with being the sacrifice, unless that was the sacrifice. Fascinating. You said she was Subitaka's adopted daughter, yes, and that she lived on Taishima. That appears to be the case. Subitaka evidently so taken with her that he decided to adopt her. The rumor that she threw herself down a well was likely spread to cover the real cause of her death. So Princess Hatsune was actually sacrificed. The seal would hold for 400 years. They must have hoped the curse itself would fade during that time too. However, the curse of the forsaken fish created by Hayase also continued to linger in the same place. So the Omnyoji sealed it inside the wooden carving, turning it into a cursed stone. Fascinating. And the same Omnyoji, knowing that the seal would only last 400 years, stored, stored his memory within the cursed stone to pass on this information. Okay. He wished to pass down his knowledge for others to use in the event of curse outlasted 400 years lifespan of the seal. He left behind instructions on how to completely dispel the curse of the raging waves. Here we go again. The cleansing. Indeed, I've compiled it in all martial arts. In truth. Okay, there we go. In truth, the curse has been perpetually active ever since its inception. The sacrifice offered 400 years ago merely served to seal the source of the calamity during this time. It is believed that Mari Minakuchi attempted to lift the curse once and for all, only for her failure to give rise to the disaster 5 years ago. Oh, okay. Maybe it is highlighted and I'm just blind. In the event that the curse did not fade during the 400 years it was sealed, the Onmyoji originally responsible for sealing the curse left behind a plan to dispel it. It was his belief that the curse's power would have awakened enough by that point that performing the following steps would be enough to lift the curse completely. Let's hear it. First, thou must unbind the seal, my seal, risen from the depths with the iron box. I think this is the spoiler that I learned from watching someone stream this. Second, thou must offer the still-tide mirror bequeathed by the sacrifice to the sanctuary. Third, let those who share blood with the lost soul of Taishima be the ones to offer appeasement. Oh. I'm gonna have to find descendants and shit. So that's what happened. And that wraps it up. Look at all the info beamed into your brain in a flash, and yet I still managed to present it as enticing narrative, eh? How amazing was that? The little clap of sirs is always so adorable. You're utterly astounding. Wow, incredible. Okay. Okay. Invasion of Taishima around 400 years ago, during the Sengoku period, Oda Nobunaga was assassinated at the Honnoji Temple. Kuki Yoshitaka, commander of the Kuki Navy, has steadily been gaining influence within the clan, but he now found himself at a crossroads in an era still racked by the turmoil of war. It was then that a vassal of the Kuki clan, Komatsu Sadamune, approached him with some intriguing information. According to the Sadamune, three mermaids were said to be living on Taishima under the protection of some of the island's residents, even though the island was originally thought to be uninhabited. Holy, this is a long one! It was widely known through folklore that eating the flesh of is it the one? Yeah. Flesh of a mermaid granted one immortality and eternal youth. Sadamune urged Yoshitaka to take advantage of this, suggesting that if he possessed such power, an invisible army would be his to command. Seeing this as the opportunity he had been waiting for, Yoshitaka ordered Sadamune to capture the mermaids and bring them to him. Komatsu Sadamune. However, Kuki Somitaka, Yoshitaka's nephew and head of the clan at the time, strongly opposed his approaching Taishima. It was in fact Sumitaka who had secretly been protecting the mermaids on Taishima, believing the mermaids to be messengers of the gods and the island a sacred sanctuary. He had worked to keep them isolated from outside influence. His adopted daughter, Princess Hatsune, was also living in the hiding on Taishima at the time for other reasons, which further strengthened his opposition to Yoshitaka's plan. However, it was not long before Komatsu Sadamune learned of this. He reported to Yoshitaka that Sumitaka was not only planning to keep the mermaids for himself, but also secretly moving to build an army of his own. Infuriated by what he perceived as an act of rebellion, Yoshitaka gave the order for Sadamune to prepare a military invasion of Taishima. Upon receiving the order, Komatsu Sadamune immediately set sail for Taishima at the head of a large army. Oh, maybe I have no idea. I should not be making conclusions. Caught off guard with an unexpected attack, Sumitaka scrambled to send out his own forces in an attempt to resist, but was unable to prevent the enemy from landing. In the blink of an eye, the once peaceful and beautiful landscape of Taishima was transformed into a nightmare. The islanders, I should use mouse, guardians of the sacred land, desperately fought back, but they stood no chance against seasoned soldiers, hardened by the years of battle on the front lines, and one after another they fell before the invaders. Sadamane ordered that even women and children be cut down without mercy, and soon the waters around Taishima ran red with blood. Sadamane's force swept across the island, searching every inch for signs of the mermaids as they pressed their assault. Finally, they discovered a mermaid in hiding by the name of Hayase and captured her. Sadamane demanded that she make his troops immortal, but the mermaid staunchly refused, even as Sadamane turned to torture, inflicting unspeakable pains with every refusal. The torture escalated until eventually her supernatural nature was not enough to withstand the torment. On the brink of death and resigned to her fate, Hayase gave a final terrible cry, overflowing with resentment and anger as she breathed her last. Sadamane ordered his men to take the flesh from her body, but as they moved to do so, a strange phenomenon began to occur. All the soldiers who approached her body began to transform into fish, their bodies decaying rapidly as the transformation took hold. Hayase had cast a curse upon them with her dying breath. With with the one mermaid Sadamon had captured dead, his forces decimated, he began a mad search of the island in pursuit of the remaining two mermaids. Eventually, he found a deep cave in the interior of the island that extended far beneath the earth, reaching down to the seafloor. In the deepest part of the cave was a shrine and a door with a powerful seal over it that he couldn't open no matter how hard he tried. Convinced this had to be the entrance to the sacred land, the home of the mermaids, Sadamone gathered all his remaining gunpowder and artillery and unleashed it on the door, destroying both it and the shrine in the process. Next moment, a violent tremor racked the entire island. The skies above were engulfed by a storm. The repercussions of his desecration of the sacred land and the resentment of the islanders he had senselessly slaughtered blended together, unleashing an all-consuming calamity that seemed to shake the very heavens and earth. Ravaged by the fierce earthquakes and vicious storms, Taishima sank beneath the waves as if nature itself sought to protect the sacred land by erasing all traces of its existence. Thus were Taishima and the secret land, along with Sadamone and his army, lost to the sea in an instant. Why is this so long? The only survivor of this strategy were two mermaids and two islanders that had successfully made their escape from the island. Hayase had, in fact, stayed behind as bait to allow the others to escape. The two surviving islanders were Princess Hatsune and a man named Somekawa, who had been assigned the duty of protecting a relic important to the mermaids. Oh, riddles, riddles. However, the tale did not end with the sinking of Taishima. Sumitaka eventually made it to the seas near the island, but a fierce anger and resentment darkened the waters around it, and the curse born from these dark emotions, the curse of the raging waves, had given rise to a storm that continued to rage even several days after the incident. Furthermore, the curse born from Hayase's final moments, the curse of the Forsaken Fish, also continued to exert its influence on the area, causing anyone who entered the storm's domain to transform into a fish. The situation had grown beyond anyone's ability to control. Sumitaka, looking for a solution, turned to Tsuchimikado Haruke, a renowned Omnyoji and friend of Princess Hatsune. Okay. After conducting an investigation, Harukage concluded that the source of the curse was the sacred land, now sunk beneath the waves. Although the curse was too powerful to dispel, it would be possible to seal the sacred land by offering up a sacrifice, thereby suppressing its calamitous effects. The seal would last for 400 years, by which time he anticipated the curse of the raging waves would dissipate. Hearing this, Princess Hatsune volunteered to sacrifice herself in the hopes that it would bring peace to the souls of the islanders who had looked after her during her time on Taishima. With her noble sacrifice, the storm at last died down, and peace was restored to the seas around the island. A bronze mirror in Princess Hatsune's possession at the time was imbued with power to serve as a talisman to calm raging waves, and it was passed from person to person over the years, eventually making its way to Kamishima. Bronze mirror, we're looking for that. Tsuchimikado Harukage was also able to seal the curse of the Forsaken Fish in a wooden accessory that Princess Hatsune had been wearing, turning it into a curse stone. Harukage used the resentful memories contained within the curse stone to create a record of the event, which is sealed within a heavily locked iron box, before concealing it in a rock on the seabed. In the event of the curse of the raging waves had not abated even after 400 years, he made it so that the seal on the rock would be lifted at the same time as the seal on the sacred land, so that the records of what happened and the methods of undoing the curse would make its way to future generations. Whew! Meanwhile, to protect the sacred land and the mermaids, Subitaka ensured all records of Taishima were erased so no mention of the island or the disaster that had befallen it would make its way into historical accounts. He also concocted a tale in which Princess Hatsune had thrown herself down a well in defiance of a political marriage in order to conceal her sacrifice. Afterwards, Kuki Yoshitaka, infuriated not only by his failure to obtain immortality, but also by the loss of his primary military force, murdered Yoshitaka, murdered Subitaka, who opposed him to the very end, and seized control of the Kuki clan in both name and nature. He had his vassals search the area around Taishima countless times after that, but it is said that they found neither the mermaids nor any trace of their existence. Whew, that was a long one. Okay. I compiled all the details of the story in the files, so feel free to go over it at your own pace. Oh, thank you. After Miss Suma found the metal box, you mean to tell me she's died? It is likely. If we consider that the curse of the Forsaken Fish had completely saturated the metal box, it is likely already too late for her. How horrible. Since she likely turned into a fish and died soon after, there's a high chance her transformed body will wash up on the shore soon. I compiled all the details. Maybe we did not find Somekawa, just someone who looks like Somekawa. I compiled all the details of the story in these files. Okay. Sirs? Wait a second. Something wrong? Avi, someone is affected by the curse of the Forsaken Fish, and transformation starts at the feet and travels slowly up, yes? I believe so, though it's hard to say for sure without witnessing it. If it's true, then that may explain the true identity of the fish mermaids discovered in this area. It could have been the bodies of those who died in the middle of transforming due to the curse of the Forsaken Fish. Oh, that's a convincing theory. Fish mermaids had been recorded as having only human heads or faces, or appearing human just from the chest or shoulders up. If the curse starts at the feet and travels upwards, that would explain the variety of fish mermaids that have appeared. The process is so painful that most died mid-transformation. Then the curse causes the corpse to rapidly wither, forming fibrous mass. It may even be the true identity of the mermaid mummy. Interesting. Still, without analyzing it directly, there's no way to know for certain. But perhaps this is why the mermaid mummies originating from Japan are of such high quality? Oh, he doesn't like that we're piecing it together. Of course, this doesn't mean that all fish mermaids and mermaid mummies are authentic. But it means there's a possibility. Why are you so mad? Actually, I just remember there were 2 points from your tale I wanted to discuss. About the events 400 years ago. My first point concerns the vassal who tortured the mermaid in an attempt to obtain immortality. If all he needed was a mermaid's flesh, what necessity would there be in torturing her? Oh, that's true. It could mean that the vassal ate the mermaid's flesh but did not become immortal. So he tortured her to figure out why. Every time he makes that face, that's my cue that I'm on the right track. As for the second observation, I have a theory that the area you described as the sanctuary, could it possibly be referring to an entrance to Ryugu? Ryugu. It is sometimes referred to as the eternal world or the world beyond. In some legends, mermaids and priestesses who serve the ruler of Ryugu, the god of the sea. I see. If the sanctuary was actually an entrance to Ryugu, then that could mean that the mermaids were not living on Taishima, but merely traveling there from Ryugu. Yes, I believe that should be the case. That would also explain why the destruction of this sanctuary would inspire the fury of the god of the sea. To be honest, it's difficult to believe that the grudges of the inhabitants of Taishima would be enough to explain what happened. True. How could they possibly engender a curse powerful enough to sink an island and linger for more than 400 years? However, it's quite easy to believe that a curse from Ryugu could maintain such power. It also explains the necessity of living sacrifice. Of course, one would be required to seal an entire entrance to Ryugu. But if the entrance to Ryugu was sealed, what became of the two mermaids that fled Taishima? I doubt Sobaya and Nagame managed to return to Ryugu. I believe they had been living here in the human world for the past 400 years, waiting for the seal to be lifted. Oh, that just gave me thoughts. Is that what happened 5 years ago? They just hid somewhere away from human eyes. If that's true, then they've been successfully hiding for over 400 years. Of course, if they were to hide themselves at the bottom of the sea, it'd be practically impossible to find them. It's also possible they've been wandering the globe rather than lingering in one place. I could explain all the mermaid sightings around the world. They could all be these same too. All this discussion of hiding made me realize something. What is it? Do you recall the story of Mr. Ikoma told us yesterday of the mermaid who became human? Ah, are you suggesting she decided to join human society because she could not return to Ryugu? It's possible. It's a possibility we should consider. That occurred only a few decades ago. Why would she decide to become human just before the seal was released? Perhaps her circumstances changed. We can only speculate on the motivation of someone who has lived for centuries. It is possible she did not feel compelled but decided to become human out of her own desire. Could she have met someone she wanted to live a mortal life with, like in The Little Mermaid? I would have screenshot that, but never mind. That is certainly possible, and quite romantic too. I'll have to write this down. It would make a solid novel. Oh, I've just realized something. Again! This girl and all the realizations. What is it? You heard about this mermaid from the descendant of the Taishima survivor, yes? Mm-hmm. That's correct. I feel it's only right that they were informed of the things we learned. We'd love to talk to her. We're quite curious about this mermaid treasure too. It must have been passed down to them through the generations. I understand. I'll probably drop by her place later anyway, since I also have to handle matter with Miss Suma. I'll discuss it with her then. Thanks, I'll be grateful. That said, in return I have a favor to ask of you. Go ahead, we will do whatever we can. You said that the seal over the entrance to Ryugu has been lifted, is that correct? Yes, it has most likely been gone for several months now. Huh? Really? A horrible curse has been swirling around the area where Taishima used to be. It's possible that the curse is the curse of the raging waves, and it's surged up from Ryugu once more now that the seal has been lifted. The fact we were able to open the metal box is proof enough that the seal has faded. That would mean the entrance to Ryugu is now open. Well, the situation is quite unstable now. What with the curse of raging waves seeping through the entrance? At any rate, what did you want us to do? There's an island called Kameshima that is located quite close to where Taishima once was. There is something I would like you to do for me there. It's weird. So both Ikoma and Somikawa could not get to Kamishima for some reason. Something's stopping them. Could be the curse of the forsaken fish. This request that does in fact have some relation to our current conversation. Oh, Toba City Recon Guest Room. We're back here. Now then, Avi. Hmm. We decided to tell Ikoma everything, but I know there is some information you kept from him. Oh, did I? Yes, something from Mermaid's memories. The real way to obtain immortality. That's right. I see no reason to inform him about it. After all, no matter what he may say about tourist attractions, this guy is also after immortality. I saw him straighten up when you talked about the mermaid being tortured because of her captor. Because her captor required more than her flesh of immortality. Damn, smart. Sharp. Are you sure? I thought his goal, if he even had one, was to quell the curse of the raging waves. Perhaps there's that too. He even asked us to go to Kamishima and find the still-tied mirror in his stead. You did mention lifting the curse required the mirror as well as help of the Taishima descendant, right? There was also something about lifting the seal first, but I don't know what that part's all about. I see. I see no harm in quelling the curse, so I say we continue to cooperate for now. Agreed. Though I do wish we did not have to approach Kameshima at all. The evil atmosphere is nauseating. However, we must consider the possibility that Ikoma actually has his eyes set on the mermaids of Ryugu. It's possible he may be searching for the mermaids like us. I suppose that discussion can wait for later. First, we must find the treasure that the survivor managed to slip out of Taishima. I mean, the treasure required in addition to mermaid flesh when attempting to gain immortality? Yes, it's a treasure known as the Tamatebako. Mermaid flesh has to be put inside and purified by it to have any effect. Oh, I see. So, provided one has both the flesh of a human mermaid and a tamatebako, then immortality is indeed attainable. Boom. Oh, I feel like I've... Is this the one Gran was hiding or digging up? Oh no. We could meet with the Taishima descendant. They could probably provide us with information on the Tamatebako. I concur. If we could get our hands on the Tamatebako, we wouldn't have to worry about Ikoma. However, it's likely he's wary of us and will keep us from meeting the descendant. He's keeping the descendant captive so that he could do all these things. At the very least, we know he's cautious enough to keep her name a secret. Well, that's why I asked him to hand over a little souvenir. What was that all about anyway? Are you sure we're not going to need that iron box? I doubt we will need it again. Plus you can think of it as a backup plan. Backup plan. So they gave him the iron box so that Sirs can locate their place. Regardless of what happens, we'll be able to meet with the descendant tomorrow. Let's get our hands on that mermaid treasure. Time to find the Tamatebako. Okay. Here we go. Oh boy. New? What is this? Okay. No, they've got relationships and shit. In love, best buds, bad blood. Oh no. Okay. Do I want to unseal it right now? No, not yet, probably. Descendant in duty. Arriving on Kamishima. Okay. Oh no. We are trying to find the descendant now. Hello again. Arnav Barnum's back on the scene. Allow me to summarize. Are you talking to me? As expected, Ikoma contacted us today, telling us we'd have to wait a little longer before we could meet the descendant. Thus, figuring he had no intention of letting us meet her anyway, we decided to use Sir's ability to go looking for the descendant ourselves. Who exactly are you talking to? I'm merely setting the scene. Really feels like it raises the stakes, no? Make it feels more like a thrilling adventure. Sure, you got me all worked up. But I'm trying to concentrate, so could you please stop distracting me? Oh, right, sorry. Let's leave her alone. Surely, there's gonna be a sticker here somewhere. Where are we anyway? Is this the, Ijika Town? Yes. I'm learning. It is the town of Ijika in Toba City. The area is one of the many in the area renowned for its divers. Cicadas though. Okay, sirs, are you done? She seems focused. Best not to interrupt her now. Sirs is completely focused on dowsing right now. There are several types of dowsing techniques, but it seems like she's using a pendulum. It would seem that the necklace she wears can be used for such a purpose. The closer you get to the target, the stronger the pendulum swings. Cersei is using her dowsing ability to search for the descendants right now. What's that? Doesn't her dowsing only let us look for spiritual energy? On top of that, doesn't she have to be familiar with the energy she's looking for? That's right. I was thinking the same thing. However, Cersei was perfectly prepared. Before parting with Ikoma yesterday, she asked him to hand this iron box to the descendant when he paid her a visit. I feel like there's not going to be a descendant. He's very sus. He said the descendant ought to have it since it's so deeply connected to Daishima's history. Ikoma agreed on the matter and would apparently go through it, assuming he did hand it over. And the iron box with its massive amount of spiritual energy had fallen right into the lap of our target. Now Cersei just has to use her dowsing to locate the box. At least that's the plan. What do you want me to do? Just think? However, her dowsing range is limited with the spiritual energy that the iron box possesses. Its range is probably only 2 or 3 kilometers. So we had to narrow down the area target somewhat before starting our search. It's done. So any ideas where we might start looking for the descendant? I think Mr. Ikoma said something about visiting her several times before she finally agreed to talk, didn't he? He did. Which would mean that didn't live far away. Yes. He must live close enough for him to have paid her frequent visits. Yes, exactly. So I think it's best to start by searching the towns within Toba. I see, but there are quite a few towns around the area, right? About that, when we parted yesterday, Mr. Ikoma mentioned something else that stuck with me. When you asked to meet the descendant, he said he'd probably drop by later anyway, since he also had to handle the matter with Miss Suma. Alright, he did say that. So basically, descendant lived close to Suma. Said it said it like he would drop by while he was in the area, so they likely live close to one another. Yes, I was thinking the same. Those towns with many Amadivers are top candidates. So that means we should probably start by searching all of towns in Toba that are home to a lot of Amadivers. That's right. We can make our way up by searching along the coast for starters. It'd be nice if we at least learn the descendant's name. We might have a lead on that. Think of your research into the past of this place. Alright, I believe the name was Kamikawa? Samikawa, that's what Taishima's survivor was called. If there's any descendants, then they may still bear the same name. That's right. It's another clue we can follow. So we ended up spending the morning traveling along the coast from one fishing town to another. This is the fourth town we've searched so far. It's about time we actually find something. Are you done? So, sirs, what's the situation? Want to give it a try? Me? How really? Will it still work if it's me? I'll still be holding the pendulum, but you can see for yourself if you'd like. Color me intrigued. I'm in. Alright, just like this. I'll hold the pendulum directly to me to move in different directions to see where it reacts. Very well, bring it on. The pendulum. Oh, hold on. The pendulum won't respond right away, so the trick is to point in one direction and wait a while. Once you find a spot where it reaches the strongest, just shout that you figured it out. Got it. When it comes to yelling, I'm your guy. Ooh. It's moving. It's not moving anymore. Okay. So it's not moving here. Right? So that has to be the place. This has to be it. Okay, this has to be it. There, right there. Not quite. The reaction should be much stronger than that, I see. It takes a little time for it to react, so if you move around too fast, it might be hard to notice. But by searching this place high and low for information. Right? So that's how it works. This has to be it. Look at that. There, right there. You got it. So that means it's somewhere up there. Well, it may still be a bit further out, but at least we figured out what direction to go. I knew it was about time we hit the right spot. Alright, let's follow this thing and see where it leads. Right. Okay. This is it. It's the apartment furthest back on this building's ground floor. Got it. Hello, anybody home? Wow, you don't hesitate, huh? We're here on behalf of Mr. Ikoma. I'm scared. No answer. Guess no one's home. No, I can sense a presence. Hello, we'd like to talk about the iron box. Wait, so she's alive. Who? Okay, so we were just mistaken. Or was that Mermaid Mummy? So that was actually Suma, not Somekawa. I can't find the Mermaid Mummy. What is it? Holy. Ah, you too. Abby and Sirs, is it? So you're the ones who found that iron box. Yes, that's right. I've never talked to foreigners before, so I'm nervous. I can hardly think straight. Please, no need to be so tense, Miss Somekawa. I promise we're both harmless and cheerful. Right. Right off the bat? Sure. No, we better wait before broaching this topic. If she realizes we're after the Tamatebako, it'll only make her move more cautious. Okay. Nothing here? No one here? Also, it's weird that I'm not in the perspective of Barnum. She was more willing to meet us than expected. The iron box proved more useful than I thought. Nice work, sirs. I'll treat you to more onigiri senpai later. Allow me to emphasize what an honor it is to meet a descendant of Taishima. Who's to say it's even true? I suppose your family must have lived in this town for generations. Nah. I moved here a couple years back. Oh, why is that? That's got nothing to do with the two of you. Fair enough. Then if you don't mind me asking, do you have any other family or relatives, Miss Somekawa? Why? Apologies, I'm merely wondering if there are any other descendants. I'm probably the only one left. They can't go, both Somekawa and Ikoma can't go to Kameshima. I'm guessing that has to be another curse by Yoshitaka. That too will come to an end soon enough. Oh, what do you mean by that? No more than what I said. So you live here by yourself, Miss Somekawa? That's right. Where exactly did you come across that iron box? I followed this map that was in my family's possession. Supposedly it was left behind by an Omnyoji to seal away the curse of Taishima. A map, you say? It led us to the iron box. It must have been resting at the bottom of Issei Bay. Since it's such a valuable artifact, deeply connected to Taishima's lost history, we absolutely had to tell you about it, Miss Somekawa. Oh yeah? If I might say so, I noticed your interest in the iron box. Could it be you already knew of its existence? I didn't know it was a box, but I'd been told something that still remained of the island. Makes sense. Okay, so he's not denying that she is the descendant. That's good. That's a start. Speaking of that box, I don't suppose there was something inside? Yes, inside was a record detailing how Taishima was destroyed, along with the information, the curse of the raging waves. A record? Oh, allow me to fill you in on the details. And that sums it up. Such a horrid man, wouldn't you say, massacring the people of Taishima because he wanted to find a mermaid that bad. The grudges left behind by the events coalesced into two separate curses, and ultimately Taishima was destroyed along with everything else. I'm sure it must be excruciating to hear the tale of how your ancestor's home was destroyed. I believe this story should be passed down so people can learn of Taishima's true history, wouldn't you agree? And that was all recorded in that box. She noticed something. I'm so glad we got a chance to talk with her about the legends. And that was all that recorded in the box. You're not pleased with it, sirs. Let's talk about it. By the way, you may consider this the curious whims of a fantasy author, but would you be able to elucidate me on some of the stories that have been passed down in your family? Now I get it. You came here because you want to ask about the mermaids, eh? I played this game because I want to ask about the mermaids. Uh, you got me. Alright, you got me there, that's true. But can you blame me? A fantasy author, it's in my blood. If mermaids truly do exist, then I must sate my curiosity. I knew it. Whatever were your motives, whatever your motives, you're not getting the tamatebako. I'm not falling for one of Ikoma's schemes. Okay. I forgot I already had that. I'm not gonna share the family's legend of Taishima with just anyone. Let's talk about it then. Did you just say Ikoma is after the Tamatebako? Oh, so you didn't know? Well, he is. That's exactly why I hid it somewhere no one will ever find. Yeah, I figured. That's what Granny was digging up in the bay of Kamishima. I see. It must be very precious to you then. Well, let me reveal that Iron Box found its way to you then. So? Was there a curse stone inside the Iron Box? A curse what? Don't play dumb. There must have been one. Well, whatever do you mean? I'm gonna save here. Whatever do you mean? A cursed stone? I've never heard of such thing. What is it? Well, if there's wasn't one, I've got nothing else to tell you. Get out. All right, you got me. Yep, I just remembered. There was a cursed stone in the box after all. I knew it. And how about a trade? The two of you want the Tamatebako, don't you? Oh, a trade? No, don't do it. I didn't think we'd be going this far out. You certainly shook me when you said we had to take a boat all of a sudden. To think that Tamatabiko would be hidden at sea with an incredible plot twist. No, we're gonna die. Avi, no. My apologies. I guess that's just the writer in me coming through. This is all too thrilling. You sure can't talk. Where's Circe? Oh, believe it or not, I'm actually holding back. I can actually go on and on great length once I get started. That was in a praise. There's nowhere to run on an island. No matter where you go, someone's always near. It's always too loud, grating on the ears. The sea, though, once you get this far out, it's nice and quiet. Nothing but the sound of the waves, no talking, no irritating folk or commotion. Only fish swimming without a sound. This is fine, stop the boat. R.I.P. Abby. I am dead. I think he got me. Oh no. Oh no. I have to save. What the fuck is a Shikigami? Nice day, isn't it? Somewhere off the coast of Toba City, accompanied only by the sound of waves and the cries of seabirds. Did she really hide the Tamatabako here, in a place with no landmarks whatsoever? And if it's at the bottom of the ocean here, how are we supposed to retrieve it? Miss Samakawa used to be an ama diver. Could she be planning to go down and get it herself? I'm guessing the Shikigami is the mark, the landmark, the sea mark. Okay. I can't shake the feeling that there's something behind me. Should I talk to her first or do you think? Whoa! Oh, it's Sear's ability. This is one of Sear's abilities, the Shikigami. When someone's name is written on a piece of paper, she can make that paper fly towards the person. They're great for delivering messages or tracking down someone. I was pretty spooked at first, the first time I saw it, but I've gotten used to it. Okay, fine. I didn't go just whoa, but not because I was actually surprised or anything. Is something wrong? No, don't mind me. I wonder if something happened to Sirs. I better read the note. Let's take a look. Arnav Barnum ran into two suspicious people looking for Miss Somekawa. I drove them off for now. But because oh yes. The housewife and Soto. I see. Seems like something happened on Cersei's end. I'd better stay alert just in case, but I don't think I'll mention this to Miss Sumakawa. It'll only shake her up. I mean, I can't die here. Barnum can't die here because we're going to Kamishma after. I've come all this way out here in the middle of the sea on Miss Sumakawa's request. This boat can only carry two people, so I've left Sirs to watch the shore. Given that Ikoma's after the Tamatabako as well, he might try to interfere if he learns of this. So Sirs is keeping an eye out to make sure he doesn't try to follow us. It's reassuring to have some backup. So someone has been tailing us all along. Or is this before... I wish I could see. Is this before we found the mermaid? So... Someone messaged me on Steam. So will you tell me what you want to trade for Tamatabako now? Your life. You've got the Forsaken Fish Curse Stone with you, right? Sure do. Oh, I killed her. Oh, no. Oh, big no-no. Have a good look. The Forsaken Fish Curse Stone. Looks like the real deal, alright? You want to trade the stone for the Tamateboko, right? I figured as much. Well, I'm fine with those terms. Let's do it. No, that ain't it. Oh, that ain't it? Are you gonna threaten me and I'm gonna have to be forced to use the stone? You know, I once had a sister. Her name was Mari Somekawa. When you say you had a sister, does that mean they are the mermaids? They've got to be the mermaids. Yes, she's gone. Died in an accident at sea about 5 years ago. I see, my condolences. So there actually was another descendant. You folks seem to be pinning your hopes on me just because I'm one of the descendants. But the one who actually inherited our duty wasn't me, it was my sister. Your duty? That's right. The duty of the Taishima bloodline. It's been passed down in our family for generations. Even more, a generation would be the one to handle the 400th year since the disaster. My grandpa always said that it was particularly important. So there was a duty Taishima's descendants were meant to perform after 400 years. Yeah. But I was young back then and still had dreams of my own. I wanted no part in some annoying duty, so I ran away from home the first chance I got. I pushed all that responsibility onto my sister, but I know I should have helped her. I see. So that's why your sister was the one who inherited the duty. Keep talking to me. This duty you mentioned, was it to break the remaining remains of the curse of the raging waves? I suppose they are connected, but lifting the curse would have been a step along the road. But it wasn't the goal. Oh, really? Then what was it? Well, it was to return the mermaid that was left behind in Issei Bay to Ryugu. Return the mermaid that was left behind in Issei Bay to Ryugu. That was the real duty of the Taishime bloodline. Return a mermaid? So it's true. There really was a mermaid stuck in Issei Bay because she couldn't return to Ryugu. That's right. Her name is Sobae. Oh, she comes up in her research, so she was real after all. You see, I am scared. I'm very scared right now. My sister that took on the family duty, it seems like she actually met Sobaya herself. She got to meet the mermaid? After leaving my hometown and making a living as an ama diver, I'd all forgotten about the duty I'd left behind. I had no idea what our duty actually entailed. When I finally learned the truth, I was crushed by regret. Regrets? Why? You know, ever since I was a little girl, I'd always been fascinated by mermaids. Understandable. Me too, actually. I read The Little Mermaid so many times, the pages of the books had started to wear away. I would see them in my dreams over and over. Back then, I wanted nothing more than to become a mermaid. It's what led me to become an ama diver in the first place. She's going to request for me to use my curse. But the true nature of the family duty is revealed to the one who inherits it. You see, what a bitter irony. But couldn't you meet the mermaid after you learned the truth? My sister took pity on me and attempted to call her to meet me once in secret. My sister, Mare, even shared some of the things the mermaid had told her. But you know, Sabaya was a cautious mermaid who never truly opened her heart to anyone but my sister. Me, on the other hand, she avoided. I was never even allowed as much as a glimpse. Quite a bitter outcome. Mare and the mermaid had grown close as friends. They trusted each other. They were inseparable. But she never once showed herself to anyone other than my sister, not even to a close relative like myself. So she hid herself away for 400 years. Was such caution really necessary? Your sister must have been an incredible person to earn the mermaid's trust. Though I can only imagine how hard it must have been to be rejected by an existence you so deeply admired and longed to meet. Mare moved to Kameshima to be closer to Ryugu, all for the mermaid's sake. And one day, she got married and changed her name to Mare Minakuchi. She seemed so happy. So she got married on Kameshima. That's okay. Everything I'm piecing everything out now. I was so jealous. I couldn't think straight, and ended up lashing out pretty badly. In an attempt to destroy my sister's relationship with the mermaid, I grabbed their family heirloom and ran off. The infamous Tamate Boko, yes? Yeah, the mermaid was supposed to take it back to Ryugu, so our family had carefully kept it for centuries. And so the years went by, and 5 years ago I heard that Mari had died in an accident. That's why I came back to Toba. I thought that maybe this meant the duty would be passed on to me. Of course. But by then our parents and all our relatives had already passed away. There was no one left who knew about our duty. There was nothing I could do. I didn't know a thing, not where the mermaid was, nor how to call for her. I'd given up. But while I was digging around, that man Ikoma found out I was a descendant of Taishima. You see, I was struggling to get by. I'd sold the information my sister had told me about the mermaid. Back then, I was making a living by giving folks a glimpse of the Tamatebako for a ridiculous price. And that brings us to the present, I suppose. Tell me everything. In other words, since your sister died in that accident, your family duty was never fulfilled. And now you want us to go find the mermaid for you. That ain't it. Damn. I guess it must have been about 3 months ago. I was wandering the coast alone when the mermaid Sabaya appeared before me. Oh, you finally got to meet her. She told me this. The seal on Ryugu's gateway has been lifted, so I will be returning. Your sister has done a great deal for me. I now ask you to return the Tamatebako. Wait, what? The seal was lifted. Is that perhaps why the curse of the raging waves became active again? So what about the Tamatebako? Did you return it to the mermaid? I was so overcome with emotion and excitement, I told her, I've hidden the relic. If you want it back, take me to Ryugu. You said, what? Not being able to fulfill my duty had been weighing heavy on my heart. But in that moment, the pain was gone. On top of that, I figured the mermaid had come to fetch me. Being able to visit the land of the mermaids, there'd be no greater happiness than that. But Sabai simply told me that it was impossible and that she'd forfeit the relic, and with that she was gone. Oh. So the mermaid has already returned to Ryugu then. Ever since then, all I've felt is despair and regret. I'm completely empty inside, there's nothing left. Okay. But then the Tamatebako still exists, doesn't it? Sure does, but... Wait. So what's in the island? If this was with her. Even with such a fancy name, in the end it's just a grimy old box. I opened it once. I was hoping there'd be an elixir of eternal youth inside or something, but it was completely empty. I see that. I see. Even so, I'd still like to trade it for it. Are you sure? I don't see why, but whatever. It's not like anything matters anymore. I'm just sick and tired of it all. In the end, I never did figure out what the Tamatebako really was. The mermaid forfeited it just like that, so maybe it never had any meaning to begin with. My family's duty has been fulfilled. That's what I meant when I said it was all over. Okay. She's going to ask for me to turn her into a mermaid. So what did you want in return? I want to do whatever it takes to become a mermaid. I knew it. Miss Sumikawa, don't tell me. You want me to use the curse stone? Simply returning to the sea, that's my only wish. No, listen, there's nothing even remotely beautiful about the curse of the forsaken fish. All it will do is turn you into some twisted half-fish monster, nothing but a grotesque imitation of a mermaid. I know. That's fine with me. This curse is the essence of a mermaid's power. I'm ready to offer my life to her. But whatever you do, I'll just be drowning myself anyway. So you won't be dirtying your hands. All you have to do is use the curse. My wish will be granted, and you would be doing me a kindness. That's all there is to it. Just hold on a minute, okay? This is just... The Tamatebako is hidden beneath the floorboards of my house. Please do this for me. No! Miss Omagama, wait! I gotta use the curse. Ah, she's already gone. Will she come back up if I wait long enough? No. I, for her own sake. Ah. I mean, she asked kindly. She asked nicely. How can I say no to that? I killed someone. Azusa. Oh no. Sobai, one of the three mermaids who were said to have lived near Taishima about 400 years ago. She has since returned to her home, Ryugu. Sobai, I'm guessing, is the mermaid who saved Yuza when he was drowning. A woman living in Toba, although she occasionally does work as an ama diver, it is unclear who she is and where she came from. She apparently showed up in Toba about 5 years ago with nothing but a grubby wooden box to her name. Uh, and has been living there ever since. As Mari Minakochi's younger sister, Asusa is also a descendant of the sole survivor of Taishima. Following the destruction of Taishima, the Somikawa line hid themselves away, living for generations in a small village within the city of Shima. The book, The Little Mermaid, was a constant fixture in the household, a decision made so that the children of the family would grow up with a familiarity with mermaids. And Azusa read it repeatedly as she grew up, the tale fueling a fervent admiration for mermaids within her. Upon, reali- realizing that she could never be a mermaid herself, she instead decided to become an ama diver, thinking that it would be at least allow her to swim freely through the sea, like the beings she so admired. Thus resolved, she left her hometown town behind, leaving the family duty, nothing more than a troublesome burden to Azusa, to be handled by her elder sister alone. For all intents and purposes, it appeared that Azusa's wish had been granted. However, upon returning home following her parents' deaths, she was taken aback to learn that the family's duty inherited by Mare was in itself deeply connected to mermaids. Forgetting how she had pushed the duty onto Mare to follow her own desires, Azaza grew deeply resentful of her sister, accusing her of keeping the mermaid to herself and asserting her right to take up the family duty, but it was too late. Mare and the mermaid had already forged an unbreakable bond, and that no amount of words or deeds could undo. Following Mare's death, she was finally able to meet the being that had enchanted her for so long. However, her desperate plea for a mermaid to take her back to Ryugu with her was met with a staunch refusal, and the mermaid left shortly after, never to return. With her opportunity to fulfill the family duty gone and her chance at connecting with mermaids lost, Azusa sank into despondency, spending her days in an empty haze. Amidst this despair, the curse of the forsaken fish that appeared before her seemed to be a final chance to have her wish granted. Driven by regret over what she perceived as a life of wrong choices and consumed by her obsession, she threw away herself into Isebe and surrendered herself to the curse, ultimately dying due to its effects. Her form writhing in the agony brought on by her sudden transformation, bore no resemblance to the mermaid she had once so admired as a child. Yet it is said that the expression on her face when her body was discovered that day later in Futamigawara seemed somewhat content. Do I do I have the picture of the mermaid? I should have, no? I want to see it again. Not here. I swear it has to be here. The fate of a surviving islander. Somikawa, the sole survivor of the Taishma Islanders, saw Sobai's tears and vowed to protect her, promising to do all There are two mermaids, Sabai and the other one. Where's the other one? Promised to do. Oh, she became the resident, right? Promising to do all he could to ensure her return to Ryugu one day. The treasure the mermaids entrusted to him, a Tamatabako, was passed down through generations of the Somikawa family as proof of the oath being honored by his descendants 400 years later. Where? Where's the thing? I want to see it. I want to see the mermaid. Please, let me see the mermaid. Never mind. We're never going to see it again. After that, we managed to quietly retrieve the Tamatebako from beneath the floor in Somikawa's house. All that was left to secure the dream of immortality was to obtain the mermaid flesh. Since Sabai had already returned to Ryugu, we placed our hopes on the last remaining mermaid, Nagame. But we had to act fast, otherwise Ikoma or those paranormal affairs bureau psychics would get in our way. It might have been the after effects of using the curse, but I got sick the next day and had to spend a full day bedridden at the inn. How pathetic. That's when I heard the news that 2 female divers had gone missing near Toba. The fact that I'd been involved in both incidents made me feel even worse. One of them, at least. When Sirs heard the news, she just mumbled something under an unreadable expression of her face. I had no choice. There was simply no other way. Or at least that's what I keep telling myself as I struggle to get out of bed. The next day, August 7th, we set out to gather more information on Nagame and other mermaids. We traveled to Kamishima, the island where Mare Sumekawa, or rather Mare Minakuchi, used to live. GG's. That's pretty good. Man. Okay. I'll save the other ones for the rest. Dude, Sato, there's only one from Sato. Nothing else has appeared so far. I'm very curious about like what happened after their investigation, Yumeko's investigation. But I'll save. It should auto-save, but I'll save anyway. And I will revisit this another time. There's title. Should I? Is there someone to raid? Otherwise, I'll end it here. Callie? Why not? An old friend. Let's say hi. Let's go say hi. Alright, peace everyone. I'll see you probably tomorrow. I want to finish this series this week. I'm already excited for the third game. I hope it comes out soon. Alright, peace.